Oh my goodness. Uh, I haven't been live. I haven't live streamed in so long. This is going to be a little bit weird for me, so bear with me. I see we have 33 concurrents. The baby's sort of asleep, so I'm going to do my best. But hopefully you can see in the description that the goal is to oh, it's teaching me how to use YouTube. There's stream markers and everything. Yeah, so the reason I'm streaming today, and hi, if you're watching this as a VOD, basically I wanted to sort of talk about today's post and just hang out and sort of talk about it. It seems like it was really contentious, and that wasn't my intention. As you know, I usually just sort of talk about whatever's on my mind, and my camera's a little crooked. I'm it's weird. I've been doing the late night vlogs for so long. And hey Charles, good to see you. Charles is one of the members actually of the stream. Can you guys hear me okay and everything? Let me know how it's going, chat. And it's good to see everybody. I haven't been streaming because I don't have time. Daniel doesn't sleep super well. And yeah. So I posted today, and it was Sony's huge PS5 lead over Xbox explained. And if you'd like to call in to have a conversation about it, oh my goodness, where did I put everything? There's no way I'm putting this up as a bot. It's just going to be a huge. It's going to be a huge trash fire. So here's the Discord, and the Discord is in the description. And what I need you to do, if you're familiar with Discord, go to calling in and be nice to each other. And what I'll do is I'm going to drag you into you're up next, and then I'll drag you into your live. And when you're in live chat, it's just going to be you and me hanging out and talking. So very open dialogue, and we can just hang out and talk. Wants the link for 140 day pass of Game Pass Ultimate for $23. Is that back? I thought they fixed that. That's from Rager. So if these streams go well, I'll probably do more of them. But basically, I wanted to talk about the post from today, and I have it up over here. Hopefully, I have this set up properly. Boom. There we go. So this is the post from today, and it's me going over. I look like a disaster, by the way. It's me going over just some of the stuff that happened today. Oh my god. This isn't. You see why I haven't live streamed in so long, you guys? Okay. So I made this post, and let's just watch it back because it was really contentious, and people seemed to feel like I was stoking fanboy wars or something like that. And again, feel free to call in. Links in the description if you want to call in and have a conversation. And yes, I did shave. It's my wife and I's anniversary. It's our 2-year anniversary today. And yeah, boom. So I'm gonna watch it back, and we need to talk about this. Let's hear what this dumb said. No doubt about it, has a commanding lead over Xbox right now. Hey Kai, how's it going? Why is that? What are they doing that's so smart? Let's get into it. Okay, so right away, the title is Sony's huge PS5 lead over Xbox explained, and it was based off of this presentation. It's created by Jim Ryan, and I'm sure he had somebody prepare it for him, right? And he just sort of went over PlayStation 5's growth. Now, I realize that the channel has been largely excited about Xbox, and I want to be clear with you guys. I'm still stoked about Xbox. I'm still tremendously excited about what they're doing. But the last few days, it's been Horizon Forbidden West, and it's been the argument about 30 versus 60, which I am tempted to make a video on. And it's been this report from Sony. So I wanted to make a video outlining what Sony has shown as a clear lead. And look, like, my goal isn't for anybody to lose. As I've always said, I want them to be even. They're kind of like this right now, and I do think they're going to even out towards, like, as the years go further, and Xbox has a chance to catch up, because let's be honest, when the Xbox One launched, it wasn't great. They've been sort of rebuilding that relationship, fixing that stuff. And then Rick Payne said, you would follow up about Xbox related DM issues. What's up at Destin? I am tremendously busy, Rick. So when things like this are breaking, and I'm talking about Sony and things like that, it's like on the list. I have a document of vlog videos with like 10 ideas in there. That's why I'm able to do a video every day, because I have so many options to talk about, right? But the DRM thing, so largely the Xbox DRM, from what I've seen, and I haven't had a lot of time to research beyond this, but it seems like the PlayStation works offline and the Xbox doesn't. And I've seen a lot of videos about that, and there's not much that I know of to add, so I will have to do more research on it. That's part of it. Yeah, okay. So, very excited about Xbox. Sony puts out this report showing how they've had clear wins this season, and I talked about it. And if people were pissed, probably because I feel like this thumbnail didn't do me any favors. PS5's lead over Xbox is massive. Although the trick here is that people are saying that, and this is from an analyst. Where is it? I thought I had all my links ready. Oh my goodness. Dashton, what are you doing? This is why I don't live stream anymore. There was an Ampere data. Yeah, here we go. Ampere analysis. So the PS5 console is outselling the Xbox Series X 2-1. And this is from Ampere Insights. These are like, they don't have a dog in the race. They're just advising people how to spend their money, right? And they're saying the PS5 is outselling the Xbox Series X and S 2-1. Now, I think one thing I failed to do in the video was to point out that I understand what Xbox is doing. And one of the commenters is a member who was like, Destin, you don't see the bigger picture. I do, but I feel like I came off stupid or something in the video, because everybody seems to have this idea that I don't understand what Xbox is doing. Xbox has a different strategy than Sony. I've said it in so many videos. I just feel like it's sort of a known thing. And Sony selling more consoles is, I mean, that's good for Sony, right? But Xbox has the PC user base, they have the mobile user base, and the console sales are in addition to all of that. Sony is going the opposite. They are focusing on console sales and working their way into the PC market, right? Rick Payne says, only issue I had with this is because you said Xbox needs to start sharing numbers. I think Xbox don't need to. They are changing the narrative. Only part of the puzzle is games. Rick Payne's right. And here's the thing. Rick Payne is pointing out something that I have talked about also, that they are working towards having that console library. And another point of contention in the video is I said something along the lines of, I'll just go back to the solo. I think it's here. Another point of contention in the video is people are like, they've clearly said that Bethesda games are going to be exclusive. They have said things that would make you think that, and I think that's what they're going to do. But for some reason, they say it in a way that is so wordy. If they literally said all Bethesda games will be Xbox exclusive, that's cut and dry. No mincing words, nothing. Hey, Shane, good to see you. I think I'm going to talk about your comment today. So, yeah, because I think you were calling me out on some stuff, which is fine. I just wanted to address it in conversation form as opposed to like anything else. Oh my goodness, there's so many things to go over. So the quotes. Kotaku. Let's get that quote. Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer. Let's go to the source. All right, well. All right, here we go. Future Bethesda games will come to other consoles on a case-by-case basis. That's from 2020. We know that during the reveal event, he said, this is about getting console exclusives to the Xbox family devices. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what he said. Yeah, and Beer points out Deathloop and Ghostwire. Those are part of an ongoing contract that are being wrapped up, right? And I'm getting tons of questions. I'm sorry, chat. There's so much going on. GameCore says, "Have you been in contact with anyone from ScrewAttack?" I talked to Craig like the other day. Is everybody okay? I still talk to those guys, but I hope everybody's good. All right, here we go. The commitments we've already made with the gamers out there on the games people know about, we will continue with those commitments. The thing this is really about is a huge investment in our Xbox community. They know that the great games coming from ZeniMax and all of those studios. Ooh, Stefan, thank you. What are you most excited about seeing in E3? I'll read this, then I'll tell you. Those games will be able to come to the Xbox community. They'll come to Game Pass day and date, and people will just have this amazing collection of great games to continue to play on Xbox. Well, that's that's pretty great. So didn't it seems pretty clear, but again, the statement I want to read is all Bethesda games will be Xbox exclusive going forward, or something to that extent, right? Here's the kind of stuff where I don't have my asset up. So here's the kind of stuff where people are wondering what, like, just come out and say it, right? This deal was not done to take games away from another player base like that. Nowhere in the documentation that we put together was, how do we keep other players from playing these games? We want more people to play, to be able to play games, not fewer people. Ooh, where is the beard? It disappeared. We want more people to be able to play games, not fewer people to be able to go play games. But I'll also say in the model, I'm just answering directly the question that you had. When I think about where people are going to be playing and the number of devices that we had, and we have xCloud and PC and Game Pass and our console base, I don't have to go ship those games on any other platform other than the platforms that we support in order to kind of make the deal work for us, whatever that means. And then he actually elaborated from there. So like, that's a whole lot of words to not just clearly say all games are going to be exclusive. So the point I'm trying to make is I agree with you. I'm also sort of tired of this conversation about, are they going to be exclusive? Are they not? And the reason that, journalists, and I guess I'll put myself in that boat, even though I don't really consider myself a journalist. The reason we're in this boat is because they haven't been crystal clear. Like, this is a paragraph to say something that could just be all Bethesda games will be Xbox exclusive. That's all I want to hear. And honestly, that's all they need to say. And it's sort of problem solved. So two things could happen. We could get to a point where Phil Spencer has to finally answer that question succinctly, right? Without a paragraph of text. And this Kotaku interview went on for a while. It's the one where the quote came from, basically, where he says, no, we wouldn't need to ship on other platforms to recoup the costs, right? So, yeah, it's weird. And to answer the question about what I want to see most at E3, thank you, Rafa. And thank you to Anthony, and thank you to Stefan. Stefan, to go back and answer your question, what are you most excited about seeing at E3? Halo. I'm very excited to see Halo, and I'm very excited to see many other things. Shane Piffer says, if it doesn't have Game Pass, it won't have Bethesda. So Shane, that's a really, really interesting point. So I think that they are using the acquisition as leverage to get Game Pass onto other platforms. We know, whether it's going to happen or not, that they are likely having talks with Sony, and they are likely having talks with Nintendo. The Nintendo stuff has been leaked by basically everybody that those conversations have been happening, and I would love to see what happens with that going forward. Oh my God, somebody actually called in. King is overrated. Let's get him in here. All right, King, your mic is on mute. Give me a second here. I don't think I have your audio input ready. Can you talk really quick? Just say anything. Any words. I do not have my output device set. It's my fault. Sorry. Test. 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 King, you want to talk really quick? Nothing. Let's drop him in there. Drop him back in. King, you there? No, King just wants to hang out. Or I don't know what I'm doing. Let's assume it's the latter. So we have somebody calling in, and I'm trying to get him on the line. And if he doesn't want to talk, he can just bail. So King, I'll give you another minute or so to sort that out, and I'm going to include the audio layer here. I told you guys this would be a disaster. No, it'll be audio output, and I just want Discord.
Hello?
There you go. Hey, King. How's it going?
For some reason, I had to do push to talk.
Oh, well, that's okay. So, hey, yeah, so I'm doing this video to sort of address the post that a lot of people seem pretty upset about, if I'm putting it lightly, or they felt like, I don't really know. What do you want to talk about?
I mostly wanted to mention everyone talking about whether Bethesda is going to be exclusive or not.
Yeah, sure.
So I think the reason why they're being very discreet and careful with their wording is because a lot of people forget the fact there is ZeniMax Online that does make MMOs, and I can't remember what the other branch is for their mobile games like Fallout Shelter and Blades. But it would be kind of weird if they said, yeah, all of these games will be exclusive, and then have, because you don't want an MMO just on like PC and Xbox when it could, like with Elder Scrolls Online, be on other platforms as well as mobile games. That's kind of what I'm thinking, why they're being kind of cautious about saying it.
Yeah, and that's a good point. You're probably right. Like, why would you pull Fallout 76 off a game that, had a really, really rocky launch and then went on to be quite successful for them? Why would you want to suddenly pull that off the PS5? That wouldn't really make any sense. But I would have to imagine that Fallout, what it would be, Fallout 5 would be console exclusive. Would you agree with that guess? And that's just a guess. That's just me talking.
Yeah, I believe any basically Bethesda game studio single player or co-op game would be PC, Xbox exclusive. There's no doubt in my mind about that. You don't pay $7.6 billion for nothing.
Right?
Like, that's a good chunk of change there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I keep saying that. And it's so weird that every I get why people are sick and tired of even me saying like, "Oh, are they? Aren't they?" And like I said, I just want Phil to say, "Hey, look, any Xbox games going forward are going to be exclusive, except for in the case of the MMOs. Like if you're right, King, like with our long-standing MMOs like Fallout 76 and Elder Scrolls, we'll continue to support those on all platforms." It just seems like such an easy PR win, an easy PR statement that they simply haven't made yet. And I have to wonder if maybe they're saving it for this E3 event to just clear it up once and for all. Because that, honestly, that's going to be a headline everywhere. If he just comes out and says it that succinctly, everyone's going to be like, finally, Phil 100% clarifies what exclusivity means, and we can all shut up about it. What do you think about that? Do you think I'm crazy or no?
No, I think people honestly kind of, I feel like if you don't think those games are going to be exclusive, you're hoping way too much, because like I said, $7.6 billion, you don't pay money for that and then not use it as leverage, whether to get Game Pass on PlayStation or to have PlayStation play ball with different things, whether that be, I mean, I don't know what they could play ball with Xbox, but I think the reason why, like I said, is because there may be a future ZeniMax Online MMO they're working on that they want to be multi-plat, which is a good example on why they're not saying that, because then people would definitely be upset that Phil said that and then kind of had to backtrack.
Yeah, for sure. No, you bring up a good point, and that's what it is. And that's why even when I talk about it or anybody talks about it, we're all sort of wishy-washy because the statement isn't as easy to make clearly, I suppose. And you bring up a really, really interesting point. actually that makes me think, I'm like, that's why they're being wishy-washy, because it's easy, it's hard to say concretely. Now what they have said is basically this is about getting exclusives on the Xbox platform, regardless if that's PC Game Pass or whatever. And I couldn't find the quote, otherwise I would just read it. But that's basically what he said. And with the context that you're adding, I think you're right. I think they can't just say all games will be exclusive, because then you get into the weeds with MMO games or like their mobile games, right? Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. There's too much, and probably even stuff that we have no clue about that's probably 5 to 6 years away, that may have either contractual obligations that may or may not be, you know, cut now. But there's probably a lot more that we as consumers don't know about, or games journalists like yourself that just don't know about yet. That is why they can't say, even since they bought them.
Can I ask you a question? Just for real. First of all, a few shout outs to Raffo, and there was another one, King Alvin, for the super chats. Thank you so much. But King, you just referred to me as a journalist, and I'm really curious. Do you see me that way? Because to me, like, I haven't covered news for IGN for 5 years, and a lot of people see me that way, and it's interesting for me. I do think, like, because this channel, these are like vlogs, this is just me talking. I love talking about the news, but I just love to hear more about like your thoughts about that. I know that's sort of weird for me to be asking you, maybe, I don't know, but like, I'm just the guy, I just talk about video games on the internet. I've done it since, the hard news days, and I just like talking about news, and I get called a journalist a lot, and I'm just sort of curious, like, at what point does one become a journalist versus just me doing a YouTube thing? I don't know.
Well, could I ask you real quick, what's your official title at IGN? I'm sorry, I forgot.
Director of video content strategy. I manage the gameplay team, and we do like support for top 10 videos. I do my performance reviews and stuff like that. We have a whole news division who I respect the hell out of, and yeah.
Well, I mean, you do work, with a bunch of these, you know, I guess if you want to consider them journalists and not yourself, I consider you a journalist because you work with all these professionals, Ryan McCaffrey, everyone at the Unlocked team, which, by the way, love the Unlocked podcast. And you check your sources, for the most part, try and do everything by the book. And I mean, I've always seen you at IGN, so I put you and like people like oh gosh, Ryan just had an interview with him not too long ago.
Prior?
Jason Schreier, yeah.
Oh wow, that's high
And
praise, dude.
I mean,
Yeah.
just I yeah, Jason Schreier, like even Jeff Grubb, which I've been recently following him lately because he's been really good with those leaks.
He's got them Starfield tweets.
Oh yeah, he's had fun this past week. But it's kind of I guess I kind of put you guys all in a group because you guys make so much content about video games, whether it be over journalism or your own personal take, because you just started this channel not too long ago.
And it kind of
And
blew up.
yeah, I mean,
Uh,
everyone probably from Unlocked and everything came over, and Unlocked, I would consider like, journalists coming together talking about what Xbox is doing, things like that.
Yeah. Well, no, I appreciate that, and it's very kind of you to say that. Warwatt says, "If you work for IGN, you are the journalist." So if I was working on the art team, but I worked at IGN, am I a journalist? That's the sort of thing, because I'm technically I'm a video producer. Like, I produce video content, and I'm involved with that, but I do editorialize also. It's sort of like I guess it's sort of like something that I'm sort of. It's just weird because to me, journalist means news team, but I guess that with my performance reviews, I do, and I guess I reviewed Cyberpunk on base platforms, so yeah. But it's just sort of an interesting conversation because that term journalist, I do feel like it's thrown around a lot these days. Like, I think YouTubers are now being referred to as journalists, and like people even on Twitter are being referred to as journalists. So uh, I was just sort of curious, like, about that perception, I suppose. Anyway, thanks, King. And yeah, dude, the channel blew up. I never expected it to blow up, but my wife encourages me. She's like, "Hey, your channel's like doing really, really well. Just keep doing your video a day and go for it." And she's been awesome.
Well, man, I have to say congrats on the anniversary.
Oh, thank you.
And your wife seems awesome for letting you do a live stream on your anniversary.
She's asleep.
Oh,
so
okay.
so yeah, that is the only reason I'm getting away with it. No,
Fair enough.
it was a really nice day. I made her a little. All right, I'm gonna show. Maybe I'm getting. See, I have this problem, right? Like I was joking around with Kid Smooth in his chat, and I feel like I get like too familiar with people easily because I'm just excited to talk to people. I've been locked in my house for a year, you know. But yeah, it's great talking. Anyway, I made my wife a little card thing. This is the one I screwed up, but yeah. So anyway, I'm a little bit of a sappy guy when it comes.
Well,
to
I dig that you have the Starfield picture right next to your wedding picture.
What?
Priorities,
I
definitely.
do. Oh my goodness! Is there
I
somebody
know it's
peeking
like
out?
in every
Is there
it's in
somebody
every
peeking
video,
out?
but
Somebody's
you
behind
men,
there. Who could be
you've
behind
men,
there? Who
you've mentioned
knows?
it in like every video, but I just have to say like props for the just amount of like if I could say this balls to do that.
It's just a joke. You know, I'm
I
so,
know, but
I was
it's
so
so
happy.
great.
Part of me was so happy to see it. Like, I guess it became a meme. A lot of people were telling me on Twitter, and I'm like, so Greg Miller has a photo of Shuhei Yoshida framed for 10 years. Nobody says shit. I framed Phil Spencer as a joke. It's just like a printer. I just printed it off on the printer, and I'm like, honey, I'm gonna do this dumb thing. What do you think? Can I put it near our photos? And she's like, sure, whatever. You know, she kind of
You're doing
giggled
the
about
Phil
it.
Spencer. You're doing the Phil Spencer method, just putting Easter eggs in the back.
Well, yeah,
Hopefully, Kojima comes.
that's what inspired it, right? Because people kept looking on the shelf, and I thought it was really, really funny. Um, yeah. Anyway, we got Mr. Glide in there. I should probably let him in. Do you want to just bring him in? All
Yeah,
right, here.
sure. I don't care.
Boom. Hey, Mr. Glide, it's me, you, and King. We're hanging out. You there,
Yeah,
buddy?
I'm here. How you
Yeah,
doing?
doing well. Nice to meet you, I suppose. I'm taking calls. I'm trying to answer chat. I figured like instead of me responding to all the comments on the video today, which I did my best on, I would do a little live stream tonight and have people call in and we could talk about if they had a problem with it or they felt I did something wrong or incorrectly. So, what do you want to call in and discuss today? I'm open to whatever.
Oh, I actually just got a little bit of whiplash because I guess my video feed wasn't up to date. You guys were still talking about your stuff in the background of your video, so I
Oh,
guess I'm a little bit behind. I'm sorry.
it's okay. We joked about that. I think I showed off something personal of my wedding stuff, and then I was like, "Oh, Mr. Glide's been waiting patiently. I should get him in there." But what
Well, I
would you like to talk
appreciate it.
about? Yeah.
So I guess I'd like to start with the fact that um, I'm not into the whole console war idea, but I find it incredibly interesting that for the first time in a long while, someone who enjoys Xbox, I'm not saying it's my only preferred platform, but it's definitely something I enjoy and getting behind. It's finally nice that we're having something like an event to look forward to that's it seems like we have a lot riding on it, you know what I'm saying?
Uh, the, well, I wouldn't say we have anything riding on it. Like it's
Or
certainly not. Yeah.
not riding on it, right? Sorry.
Mhm.
I would say like just a lot going into it. A lot that's
A
we
lot
have
of
to look
hype, a
forward
lot of
to.
Anticipation.
hype, a lot of excitement, and King's still in
Yeah.
here. So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was just
also
saying
nice to meet you as
anticipation.
well.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm super excited about E3. I think Xbox has a huge opportunity to get more interested in their console than ever before. You know, Sony's kind of not there. They did their Horizon stream and they're getting the pre E3 hype. Maybe they know something that we don't that's coming from Xbox, you know? So they're just like, well, let's get the word out about Horizon now. Because, you know, there's like a million PR people working for these companies, right? And they're all
Oh,
thinking, well,
absolutely.
what's, and like me, and I love doing this. This is all I'm doing with this channel is I just love talking about like what is this person going to do, what is that person going to do, why hasn't Xbox done this, could Xbox do this, could Sony do this, what will happen. And like it's just sort of fun. Like I'm the crazy guy on It's Always Sunny just trying to connect dots and put strings together. Most of it's just my personal opinion. Sometimes I collect like bullet points of info, but bringing it back in, I am so excited to see what Xbox brings to E3 this year. Because I made that video talking about all the studios and everything that they have lined up. Dude, it's a lot. It is a lot for any company to be walking in with that much ammunition, especially when your competition is just a no-show. Which frankly, Jeremy G, thank you to being, ma'am, I'm getting new supporters and stuff too. Which frankly, it's very odd to me. And I think Sony's biggest challenge is going to be, for better or for worse, a perception of arrogance where they're just like, well, we got Horizon. Here's our Horizon gameplay. And yeah, that's going to be in the news for like the next week and, you know, this presentation. But if they're just MIA for a month and Xbox is dominating everybody's feeds and that's all they're talking about, that's good for Xbox. What does that mean for Sony? Sony just, I don't know. It's sort of a complicated thing that even just talking it out, they don't have to go to E3. They don't need to. You know, this contentious video that I made, I sort of talked about how well they are doing. They're doing tremendously well.
They are also, I would let, oh, sorry,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go for it.
Well, I just wanted to jump in and say that they're definitely, so their success that they're obviously having right now is definitely, I would say, based on all of their success with the PlayStation 4, which obviously is going to have a huge install base.
It's funny you bring that up. Well, let me just back up your claim, because you make a really good point there, right? Talking about engagement has increased with the PS4. I'm bringing up that report that I referenced, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're utilizing the tail of the PS4, ensuring our longest tail ever. And they have all these games that are cross-platform, their ongoing free-to-play growth, their loyal subscribers. And you can see how they project that the lapse of customers is going to go down in the coming years. Like you see the line go up, but they're going to likely convert or migrate to the PlayStation 5. So yeah, you bring up a really good point.
But then that's the problem of, you know, supply and actually getting those in the hands of people that would be able to, or that would want them, which, so obviously there's a lot of interest, especially online. You know, you refresh YouTube, if you have any interest at all in consoles, obviously you're going to see videos pop up all the time of PlayStation 5 stock and stuff like that. So obviously, yeah, the interest is there, but Xbox has an absolutely amazing opportunity to, so they have Game Pass, obviously, to say like, hey, our system is affordable and you can also get all these games that normally are so much more expensive on any other platform and you can play them. They just have a very strong opportunity to like regain a lot of that, I guess, consumer appreciation that they lost, obviously, with the Xbox One launch and everything that happened right after that.
I agree wholeheartedly, and I'd even go a step further and say they've largely begun doing that already. And I see chat talking about some of the things that. So, spoiler warning: I record a few videos at a time. I don't like record a video every day. When I can get ahead, I can. In my next few videos, I'm just going to break it. Is Sony copying Xbox? Which
yes,
I think they absolutely are, and I think that's a normal business strategy. Pardon?
I was just asking with what particularly they were copying Xbox.
Well, you'll have to watch the video. It comes out tomorrow at 7.
Oh, okay.
And then Paul and I do PVD, PS5 sales versus Xbox ideas. And it's largely talking about the document, and we try and correlate that back into Xbox and just sort of talk about what both are doing and that. And then this one I actually recorded earlier in the week, why I'm excited about Xbox. And it's just like, I get accused of being an Xbox X-bot, and then I also I'm getting accused of being a Sony shill and all this stuff. You know, it really sucks when like you make 40 Pro Xbox videos and then you make one about Sony and they're like, no, what are you doing, Destin? And I'm like, I'm just talking about a cool document. I'm sorry.
There's no winning with the internet, Destin.
No. And thankfully, like I have a really level-headed user base who understand that I'm interested in the information, right? Yeah. I'm either a pony or an Xbox. But anyway, the why I'm excited about Xbox video that's coming down the line, that's about why I've been covering Xbox. And I mean, spoiler warning, it's about how Xbox is sort of the underdog. And they have a chance to really come back and kick ass this console season. And
for sure.
I think they're going to. And spoiler warning for Paul versus Destin, I say near the end of the video, I think we're reliving the PS3 era, and some caller just dropped. I was going to get to you. Anyway, I feel like we're reliving the PS3 era where Xbox is starting behind because the Xbox One era was rough, but now we're going into the Xbox Series X era, and there's a lot of exciting stuff going on for them with the acquisition of studios, with how successful Game Pass has been just to name like two off the top of my head. And I do think that at the end of this console cycle, and this is just my opinion, because people think I'm spouting facts or something when I ramble at 1:30 a.m. and that drives me nuts, by the way. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is I think they will come back by the end of the console generation. I think we are reliving the PS3 era inverted in Xbox's favor, where Xbox is going to have a slow start, but they have so much momentum that they're going to come back, and by the end of it, we're going to be looking back, and I think we're going to say, "Oh wow, Xbox caught up really quick." Why? Because Phil Spencer's a smart man. Satya Nadella is a very smart man. They have tons of smart people working for them, and they are stacking the dominoes to knock them down. Period.
Yeah, no, I would definitely agree. I mean, I feel like Phil Spencer brings an energy to that type of management that makes the consumer feel like they're almost like friends with him. There's like a certain level of honesty that he exudes that I just feel incredibly intoxicating. I know that sounds a little melodramatic,
it's
but
true. It's very true.
Yeah. No, I just like it's one of those things where, when you see PR people, like, because stepping into the whole console war thing, people like to, point to their leadership as big, flagpole, just this represents us or whatever. And when you have someone like Phil who is approachable, who's smiling and is just doesn't have anything negative to say, it's just a really big engagement tool. I feel like that just is a win for Xbox.
Yeah, I watch Jaffe stream sometimes, and he lays into Jim Ryan.
Jim Ryan.
Is that what you're talking about? I almost said Jim Layden. Jim Ryan. Yeah, he lays into Jim Ryan because, like, Phil Spencer, a very charismatic leader that a lot of people really enjoy watching, and then Jim Ryan comes out and he's like, the David Jaffe joke, which I love, is just like $70. I laugh every time he does that stupid joke because that is the perception, for better or for worse. Like, look, I think Jim Ryan is a very intelligent businessman. I think this report is absolutely fascinating and eye-opening. Like, their strategies, the whole $70 thing that we all hate, it's working for them because people do not seem to care. And that's sort of a problem that is on the consumer. If you're going to pay for those $70 games, they're going to keep selling at $70. Like, why would they stop? Returnal's like a #1 seller, and Ratchet and Clank's going to be a #1 seller. So clearly the message is, oh, well, they don't seem to care. Might as well just keep selling at 70. Xbox is offering more for the consumer, I believe. The whole argument that Sony fans make is largely that, oh, well, I have all these great exclusives. I have Returnal, I have Ratchet and Clank, I have Spider-Man Miles Morales, I have Demon's Souls, I have Sackboy, I have whatever, right? But then on the Xbox, our whole thing is like, well, we can play all these games on PC with Game Pass Ultimate, which is like, what, $14 a month? You get access to like all these games for like nothing. And I personally, as a kid who grew up very poor, I love how pro-consumer Game Pass and the services that Xbox are offering are. Does Sony have anything even close to that? Sort of with PlayStation Now, but look at the subscriber numbers. You're talking about, what is it? 23 million versus 3.2 million. So clearly something is not going correctly with the marketing of PlayStation Now, or it's just not quite as engaging as Game Pass is. So, yeah.
For sure.
Sorry. I was gonna say, like, if I can interject for a second, like the one thing that you were saying about Xbox, because I mostly play PC, and that's the one thing I've been very much thankful for Xbox about, is Phil Spencer has been so helpful with getting all Xbox Game Studios games to PC. And with Xbox, Game Pass Ultimate, it has been so easy to just play some games that I would either never play, or because I'm a broke college student, I wouldn't have the chance to pay for.
Oh my God, when I was in college, I would have killed to have something like Game Pass.
Exactly.
You buy, so like what? You buy the $60 game or two that you really want every year. And then you also have, for $15 a month, all of these things. It's awesome.
Yeah, and the one thing is, like, Jim Ryan, I like what he's been doing sort of on some things, but like bringing some of those exclusives from PlayStation, because I'm not an Xbot that says those exclusives aren't good. No, they're really good. I have all the consoles. I try and collect them, but all the exclusives I've played have been phenomenal on PlayStation, and since they're coming over to PC, it just gives me a chance to play them the way I'd want to, with like unlocked frames and everything that is appealable with PC gaming.
Yeah,
And
what is up with the PS5 and not addressing the 1440p support? It's such
I
a
have
weird.
no clue.
It seems like why not? Like what is it about their hardware that they're having an issue with 1440p? It seems so because it's based on the I don't know. I don't even want to try
Uh,
and get into technical details because people will just make fun of me. But I know if you can output 4K 60, you should be able to handle 1440p 60 just fine. You could even handle 1440p 120 on a standard HDMI cable, I believe. It's when you go over that the tick rate is harder to hit. But anyway, I don't want to
Well,
get
you
too
got
technical. So yeah.
right. I mean, but just to quickly interject, I mean, it's one of those features kind of thing that I think that they just don't have the feedback for it to say like, oh, this is something that we need to support. I feel like maybe, and obviously there is an outcrying of people that would say we want that. I just feel like maybe on their internal team, it's not a priority that they want to do it.
Yeah, maybe. We
well,
have
and
somebody oh sorry, King, last point, and then I'm gonna bring in
yeah,
Sura, and I'll probably because I forgot how tricky it is when we're not in person to not talk over each other. So I'll probably put you guys back into the calling in, okay?
you're
No
fine.
problem.
Yeah.
Well, all I was gonna say is like I feel like we may have a PS3 situation going on, because I have
Correct,
seen
Jeremy.
yeah, it's Sniper Ghost Warrior 2 contracts or something like that.
Okay.
And there's another game that have been delayed, or no, it was Biomutant was the other one, where something with the PS5 hardware is making it difficult to get these, 4K 60 or 1440p output. So I wonder if we're having a possible PS3 situation where it's hard to develop. I haven't heard anything,
No,
but that's kind of what I'm assuming.
well, developers have been really positive about the PS5 and working on it. But who's the oh my goodness, I'm blanking on his name. Who's the guy who made the PS4 and the PS5? Not
Oof.
Andrew Wilson.
Andrew House, are you
Nerdy
talking about?
guy. He's really nerdy, but I love him. He's really kind. The kindest PlayStation guy who made the
You're talking about.
consoles.
I don't
Kearney,
think you're talking about
Mark Cerny.
Mark Cerny. There you go.
Jesus, I am sorry. Yeah, see, this is why I can never post this video because I forgot Mark Cerny's name for a second. Yeah, but Mark Cerny has said he's really open to feedback, and when people, Chad is just gonna be like, "I deserve this. I deserve this roast. Thank you, thank you. Come on, it's 10:18. I get a little bit of a break, right? Yeah. So Mark Cerny has talked about how he's really really open to feedback, and we'll probably be addressing those issues. Anyway, thank you both. You both were so kind, and it was really nice to hang out with you. I just want to make sure other people get a shot. So I see Reefer McQueen, but Sir Holly is
Well,
up next. So
well, I appreciate you guys having me on the show, and it was nice talking to you, Dustin.
no problem. Thank you, dude.
Same. Good talking to you, Dustin.
Thank you, King. Have a great evening.
Yep.
Bye. All right, so we are gonna bring in Sir Holly. Sir Holly, are you there? Hello.
Great. Hello.
Oh, hi. How are you doing today? And
I'm doing
as
great.
I'm sure you've been watching, so you kind of know that I'm just talking about the video today, or talking about the industry, or just whatever you want to discuss, really. So, how are you doing, and what would you like to talk about today?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Well, I love to talk about Sony and Xbox competition because
Okay.
the thing is, Sony has a lot of story-driven games, narrative-driven games that people love. And now Xbox has bought Bethesda. Now they have a very extensive library of RPG games.
Yeah.
So Sony need to up their game and have a competition. They have a huge competition ahead of them to bring some amazing RPGs, because people who are interested in RPGs, they will definitely go for Xbox, right?
I mean,
So what's
yeah.
your take on it?
Okay, yeah, no, that's a great question. And so here we go. I'm bringing up their presentation. It's a really good question because I have what they talk about in their presentation right here. We got God of War, Horizon Forbidden West. So story, Returnal, shooter, I guess you could say. I loved Returnal. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, story, MLB The Show, cross-platform. Deathloop, Far Cry 6, Ghost Rider, third party, Final Fantasy. Okay, Final Fantasy. I knew there was one. They got Final Fantasy 14, still only on their platform. I hope it comes to Xbox. And they have Final Fantasy 16 around the corner. We don't know what Forspoken is, but I'm imagining that's like traversal combat, stuff like that. And Resident Evil Village, again, cross platform. So I think their answer for RPGs right now is Final Fantasy 16. And that's probably why they locked in that exclusivity, because they know they need it. They have Final Fantasy 7 and Final Fantasy 7 Integrate right around the corner. But you do bring up a good point. Bethesda makes some phenomenal RPGs, and they have Elder Scrolls. We don't know what Starfield is, but I believe it's going to be similar to an RPG format. They talked about how it will have the BioWare DNA. What else do we got? Elder Scrolls, Starfield, Fallout. Fallout 76 and Elder Scrolls are cross-platform. But what else am I forgetting that Bethesda makes? We got the three: Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Starfield. Sir Holly, got any for me? Got any help?
It's like
Outer
Fallout is
Worlds.
there,
Outer
Outer
Worlds.
Worlds.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a new start. It's a new IP.
Hmm.
Fallout is there. And I'm just imagining, like in the future, because the Bethesda doesn't have the very good engine in making games. What about like Elder Scrolls 6 with the resources Microsoft have? They can create amazing graphically using Unreal Engine 5 kind of RPG, and that will be amazing. What's your thought about that?
Um, yeah, chat's bringing up a lot of other great examples like Avowed, whatever NXile is working on, which is going to be an RPG, and whatever Obsidian is working on. So yeah, a lot of classical, amazing RPG makers. I'm not really sure what to say about it. I think it's a great win. I do think Sony does have counters to it with the Final Fantasy franchise, and like Final Fantasy 14 is a big win for them, which is like I said, only on that platform. Why isn't it on Xbox yet? Why? um, but yeah, I mean, you're right. It's definitely going to be a feather in their cap, right? It's being able to say that we have all these Bethesda things. One thing you did say, though, about the engine, it seems to indicate that the engine is bad or poor. Yes, it's really, really buggy, but they're also doing a massive update to the creation engine, which is something I talked about a few days ago in a video. So you got to remember Fallout 4 was probably the last game where we saw a major update to the engine. Fallout 76 was an MMO. I don't think that's a good comparison. So I'm really, really intrigued to see whatever they're doing to update and launch their new titles. And also, just on Starfield for a second, they've been playing that since 2018. They've had a build since 2018 that they've been playing, that they confirmed in a Jeff Keighley interview in 2018, back when they revealed
Yeah,
it.
that might explain the reason why Elder Scrolls 6 is delayed, because they might be using the new engine, whatever the collaboration between Bethesda and Microsoft is.
Yeah, for sure. And then Phil Spencer during that interview, another good point that you bring up. Phil Spencer brought up during that interview that they're really excited to see how id Tech can be incorporated into the Halo franchise and how they can all work together and learn from each other. I think it's going to be really, really cool.
Yeah, and all
Yeah, go ahead.
and also right now, according to the PDF that Sony recently revealed,
Hmm.
it seems like they are also planning to counter the Xbox Game Pass. Their PS Now is growing, but it's not much as compared to Game Pass at this moment. So I think for this generation and the coming generation, this is my view, and a lot of people might agree that PlayStation might be playing catching up to Xbox. I'm not an Xbox fan. I have both, so I enjoy both the consoles. But this is what my thinking is. What's your take on it?
Well, I think you kind of get at the heart of why people had a problem with my video. It's because I didn't make enough correlations to what Xbox is doing. Like I'm on the page about new studio acquisition or whatever. Okay, yes, they have a lot of studios. They made a lot of great games. Xbox has more still, and this is part of where they're investing their budget, right? They know that they need to catch up here. And then the other one that you bring up is really, really smart. Like, look, they're finally getting into the PC market, a 250% ROI. I guess Xbox knew that years ago, though. So Xbox is ahead there. The mobile market, Xbox is already there. They're still figuring out whatever they're. I'm really wondering what their mobile market answer is going to be, because they released that phone commercial where I thought, oh, this is it. They're going to talk about their mobile strategy, and they just didn't. They just dropped it. They brought up games as a service with MLB The Show 21. I don't feel like that's a games as a service in the way that I would recognize it, but they are going to be working on that. They actually put it in here as a win, the fact that it's a multi-platform IP. All right, whatever. But I will say this, their PS Now numbers, their growth, like look at this, it's not quite, but almost double, right? 1.8 to 3.2, that is substantial growth. And they're clearly trying to figure it out. But guess what? PS Now in the community and just word of mouth has been regarded poorly for so long that they need, like, I don't know how Sony fixes that. That is a major problem for them that they need to address. I think what they've been doing with PlayStation Plus is far more compelling than what they have been doing with their PlayStation Now services. I think their PlayStation Now services are still, they're there, but the fact that they rely on streaming for all their games for their entire PS3 library with no download option is bizarre, and it's I just don't understand it. And chat, you're going nuts. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do my best to remain focused in each conversation, and then I'll come back to chat. So maybe I'll just call that out when I do that, so that I can actually read and answer all the questions that are coming in. I apologize. It's hard. I'm one human being. I can only do so much. But yeah, really, really good questions, Sir Holly. Did you have anything else you wanted to bring up?
Yes, as if you put the slide up, it mentioned like they are also concentrating on the emerging markets like India and China. Okay,
Yes.
and the thing is,
Didn't Xbox launch in India and it was like their biggest, like some insane success for them? It was India, right?
India has, yes, I'm from India, so a lot of user base are the fans of PlayStation, not so much
Mm-hmm.
of Xbox. But
Okay.
this generation, like the availability of consoles, the Series X, far greater than the PlayStation. And so
Sorry.
what I'm doing,
Wait. Are you making a statement or are you asking a question? Are you saying that the Series X is more powerful than the PS5?
no, I'm saying Series X is more profitable in India.
Ah,
Like they're changing the game right now. So Series X is more available in India compared to PS5.
yes, yeah. That's good, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, as PlayStation is releasing more PlayStation exclusive games to PC, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, I can't hear you. So as PlayStation is releasing more games to PC, so what will happen is like this is my thinking. Like in the future, any game like Horizon Wild West, Forbidden West will be released in the future after 2 years or 3 years after release, just like Horizon Wild West. What do you think about that?
I think it's a huge revenue drive for them, and I agree. I think that's what they're going to do strategically. And I finally found the slide that you were sort of talking about: opportunity market proportion and revenue. It went from 1% in 2000 to 5% in 2010 and 10% in 2020, and those are their expansion outside of countries that aren't the United States, the EU, and Japan, right? So a 10% growth in those markets, and probably in no small part because of their launch in China. Launching in China is a big deal. I was very surprised to see that, and that is just a massive market that is really good on Sony for getting there. It's I really hope that Xbox can figure out how to like be massively successful in the Japan market, be massively successful in the China market, because those are definitely avenues for growth that could be big wins for them, but it's been a challenge for them since their inception, really, right? Like even in India, you're saying that there's consoles on the shelf for Xbox, but PlayStations are sold out, correct? Or am I incorrect in that assumption?
Yes, the availability is far greater of Xbox Series X than PlayStation 5.
You're saying they. I'm sorry. Could you say that again?
Yeah. Xbox Series X are far much available in India compared to PlayStation 5 right now because they are launching flash sales every 2 weeks or 3 weeks of PlayStation 5, but it's not going so good because stocks run out immediately.
Yeah. Yep. So hopefully they solve for that issue. All right, I'll let you have one more. Did you have one more point you wanted to discuss a little further? I have
Yes.
Reefer McQueen who has a camera on, so I'm gonna just see what that's all about before we bring him on, make sure it's all good, and then we'll bring in Shedding Shadow. But go ahead. What do you got, Sarah?
All
It's
right.
sorry, am I saying your name wrong?
Yeah, it's Suraj.
Suraj. Is that good? Okay,
Yeah, that's great.
got it.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
So that's all right. I have a few of US clients who speaks like that. So
My
that's
name's
all right.
Destin, so I get Dustin, Justin, Devin a lot, and it bugs me when I don't make the effort to say somebody else's name correctly. So I apologize for not doing that earlier. Suraj,
You are a very
right?
humble. You are a very humble human being.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, I'm just trying to be kind.
That's great. So my next point is, as I have noticed in the last 1 year, PlayStation, like people who don't have PlayStation, they are eagerly waiting for PC. Like PC players are eagerly waiting for PlayStation comes to games to come to PC. And once it came, like Horizon, and Dead Stranding, and now Days Gone. I think PlayStation is what's gonna do in the future is they are not gonna release Forbidden West or any other exclusives or Ghost of Tsushima on PC um, before it's like in the end of the sales cycle, like 2 years from now or 3 years from now.
Mhm.
What do you think about that?
I think it's too long. And I was going to actually potentially make a video just about that. I think that they are seeing clear growth in the PC market. I think they are going to be more aggressive with the PC market. And the very strange thing for me is when I see Sony fans get pissed about that. Like they care so much about their games being exclusive to their PS5 platform, and that is really really concerning. Others Inc. points out there's a paragraph at the end of this thing that I should read also. I'll read it. I'll read it in a second. Um, but yeah, I think they wait too long. I mean, they're seeing 250% growth, but I have to wonder, like, what if that was shortened to 6 months or a year? I have to imagine that it would be even stronger than it already is. And I find the 2 year thing strange. So yeah. Suraj,
Some people buy it twice.
by what twice?
Like they already own it on PlayStation, but they are buying it on PC to play it at 4K 120 FPS.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, like, so let's talk for just a little bit of a second about that Horizon gameplay. Everybody's freaking out because it was 30, right? I believe it was a 1080 base 30, but you're watching a stream, it's compressed. We don't know what that game is going to run natively at. But here's what we do know. A Polygon article said that, and I don't know if that's widely knowledge, but it does say that. Izzy, thank you so much. Oh, God. Is there a way to see all your super chats? Dang it. Well, Izzy, thank you. And then there was another one earlier. Decado, Sporter, thank you. I apologize greatly if I missed your super chat. I am terrible. Dang it. Okay. For next stream, I need to figure out how super chat works because like I can't see anything. Can I pop it out? Anyway, I think they needed to shorten the gap to answer your question succinctly. And I don't understand why they have it so long. Like it's working, but why? It doesn't really make any sense to me, right? There's been occasional rumor of a Microsoft Sega deal. From your experience in the industry, how realistic is it for that sort of acquisition to occur? I would say it's not very common, but Microsoft also bought Bethesda. So who knows, man? At this point, I'd believe it if somebody said like that was happening. I could see it coming to fruition. Suraj, I got to get another person in here because I'm running out of steam and I got to go to bed sometime. But it's been great talking to you. You brought us some really great questions today. Thank you.
It's nice talking to you, Justin. Talk to you soon.
Nice talking to you too. I'll talk to you again soon. All right, we're gonna bring in Reefer McQueen. I'm gonna bring it over here. I'm gonna deafen. Let's see if this is a prankster, a jokester, trying to get me in trouble, or if he's cool. All right. No, nothing graphic. Oh, he's got a camera. All right. Are you cool? Are you pranking me?
No.
Your name's Reefer McQueen, bro.
Yeah. It's a difficult thing. I realize you're thinking difficult.
It's okay, everybody. It's okay. It's just a dude.
No. It's not related. I'm seeing.
You're so real talk though. Your audio is a little muffled. Maybe if you hold the mic like this, if that's your mic,
Is this better?
it's better. It's just it's a little quiet, so it's hard for me to hear it. But what did you want to talk about today? And it's good to meet you.
Yeah, it's great to meet you. Let me just.
Yeah, it's like totally out right now. Reefer, I'm going to put you back and you're up next. I'm going to bring somebody in for one question, and then you toy with your mic and just do a test in Discord, and you'll be able to fix it really quick, okay? I'll bring you back in like 5 minutes. Thank you so much for being so patient. All right, we're just going to bring in Shedding. Hi, Shedding. You there? Okay, Shedding, I'm going to come back to you in just a second. We're going to try J King next. Hi, J King. Are you there?
Hello.
Hello, this is Destin speaking. Hello, good to see you. It is wonderful to have you on the line. Is that what's your picture from?
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like Berserk or Destiny because I'm a big Destiny nerd, but yeah. Well, hello. Thank you for calling in. I told Reefer McQueen that I would have him back in 5, so I have a little bit of time with you. What would you like to discuss?
I guess avenues for Sony to grow in the PlayStation 5. You know, like backwards compatibility, streaming services, how they could grow.
How could they grow? That's a tough question to answer, honestly, because, you know what? You kind of got me on the spot. I'm not sure. Do you have any ideas off the top of your head?
I mean, I had an idea a while ago because, like, you know, not many people were talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this thing called an external disk drive, and I was thinking maybe Sony could make one that'll be compatible with the PlayStation 3. And you know, you'll be able to put your own disc in.
So like a disk drive that you would plug into your PS5 that would play PS3 games?
I guess so, because you know the PS5 can't do it.
You're messing with me, right? It's a joke. If it's not, I'm so sorry. Okay, so like let's imagine that from a consumer perspective. You have to buy a peripheral device, and peripherals do very, very well for them. But then you have to plug it in your PS5, and then you have to buy PS3 disc games, and then you have to play those PS3 disc games. The market for that is so narrow and small. Like I know that people in like Southern America and Brazil and stuff, like I know there's a huge used game market there, but I do not see that happening. It's just too small of a market. I apologize for laughing. I didn't mean to come off rude.
Sony messed up. There's not much we could do.
They did, and it's really weird because the thing that bugs me about the PS5 is like, how do you not understand that people are going to want to easily have their saves, especially when they have a cloud service built into the platform? And yeah, it's really weird, right? And like they have incredibly smart people working on their team, so yeah. Chat's calling me out for being mean. I'm sorry, dude.
Nah, it's fine. Like I'm not a genius in this stuff. I'm just brainstorming.
No, that's cool. Like the market isn't there. Sony is litigious when it comes to people making side plates for their console, like remember they shut down that whole company because they're like, oh, you're making black side plates that people can make their console look how they want, and they shut down their whole company. So I think that would be, I don't think they could do it, man. I don't think like a third party could do it because it's like proprietary hardware and everything like that. I think if you want to play PS3 stuff, people are just going to buy PS3s. Like that would be your answer for that service. Interesting thought though, because like how can they not figure it out? That's one thing Xbox had ready to go, right? They have been working on backwards compatibility basically since Xbox One X launched, I want to say. I think that's when Phil basically said, hey, yeah, everything's going to be supported, so don't worry about it. And Sony just screwed up the architecture, starting with the PS3. They couldn't get PS2 games. Like the chip in that 60 gig PS3 would play PS2 games. Then the PS4 came out, they're like, we're not going to support it. And now they're in this weird place where they're like, you can't even get your PS4 saves on your PS5 easily, like with Avengers and stuff like that. It's so weird. It's like such a glaring oversight that it's very odd to me. And I think that's the point you were trying to make. So, yeah.
Because like it obviously has enough power to do it, but like they just can't read it.
Yeah. But Xbox just had it ready to go. Maybe it's because of their OS differences. That has to be in, right? I'm going to bring Reefer in because I did say 5 minutes, but I'll let you have another one, okay?
Yeah.
All right, Reefer, you there?
Hey, what's going on, Dustin?
Oh, I can hear you loud and clear now.
Yeah. I just switched over to my phone only because I think my headset is fucked up. So,
all right.
Anyways, I was having a really cordial conversation with Shedding Shadow about just like mobile stuff. Like talking about a Valve apparently is making a mobile device. That's beside the point, though. Yeah. He'll talk to you about it if you're getting him on soon. But interesting conversation. I'm just first of all, I just want to say I'm a fan. I've been watching the Kind of Funny Xcast a lot.
Yeah.
So seeing you with like Ryan and what's his fit? Ryan McCaffrey. Ryan McCaffrey is on IGN, right?
Yeah. So I hang out on Unlocked. The Xcast.
He comes
Paris
on.
Yeah.
Unlocked. Yeah. So I'm getting them all confused, but
no, it's fine.
So what happened was like for the past 2 or 3 years, I converted over from PlayStation to Xbox. Like that became my home base. For some reason, when the One X came out, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give this a chance, right? Because it was more powerful than the Pro at the time, and I really got onto the Xbox ecosystem. First time in my entire life, right. And since then, like the Game Pass, I think came out in 2018. Like 2018 is when it got really, really good.
Yeah, it's been around for a while. I feel like the media, we'll say, really picked it up in 2019, and then 2020 it's just like, holy crap, this is an unbeatable service, right?
Oh yeah, so when in November I'm from Toronto, by the way. I'm Canada.
Oh, hey dude, I grew up in Fort Francis, Ontario. Do you know the
border no
town?
way.
Yeah, dead serious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in Mississauga, so.
Oh, okay. My brother lives near you.
Oh really? Where is he in? Well, relatively speaking, where is he? You don't need to tell me where he is.
He's close to Toronto. I'll just say that.
Okay, probably Etobicoke or something. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, one of those places.
Oh, that's pretty interesting to hear. I didn't know that.
I don't talk about my Canadian heritage a lot, but it's always nice to see a fellow Canadian.
Oh yeah,
sorry.
Sure. Yeah, we got to keep the units tight. There's a few of us, but we're really outspoken people, I guess. My point though is that so in November I ended up getting a Series X. I bought it.
Nice.
I was able to snag one opening the first day. I got it off Amazon, and because of my One X, then I was just like I transferred it all over, and PlayStations were sold out, and I luckily got one in January, and I ended up selling my Xbox, and I don't know why I did that, but I just felt like maybe at the time it felt like the right thing to do because it's kind of redundant to have.
Reefer, which one? Did you sell the One X or the Series X?
So I sold my One X once I got the Series X.
Okay.
And then once I was able to secure a PlayStation pre-order, I ended up selling my Series X.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna bring him back. That was just a joke. That was just a joke. That was so messed up. I'm sorry.
No. Oh, no. I was like, shit, really? I'm
Just
being
a joke,
honest.
chat. Just a
That.
joke.
No,
Just
no,
a joke.
no. No. But you let me finish my point. But anyways, I've been kind of regretting. Like, I'm a diehard Xbox guy since they've been taking this new turn into like being really consumer focused. Because I appreciate the effort that Microsoft is. They're putting their money where their mouth is. You know.
There, you can actually
And
look
they're
at
really
somebody
trying to.
now. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Whatever. You
It's
can see me,
It's
right?
all right. Oh yeah, I can see. Well, I can't see you, but I mean on Discord, but I see you on YouTube, so I have both running.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My point though is that like I think Xbox's game plan is super solid, but the reason I personally backed out is because ultimately there wasn't the content that I felt like I could support for the years, like for at least the next year until Halo Infinite.
Okay.
Is that like a reasonable thing to say? Like, I mean, it's just having to like I have a PC as well, like a really pretty big PC, and
well, I mean,
like
I'll let you finish.
Sorry?
I'm sorry. I'll let you finish first.
Yeah. I had a PC, but like you can't use your PC on like a big 120-inch projector. If I have a big screen, like I'm not lugging my PC all the way to the basement to watch something, right, or play something.
Yeah.
But my PlayStation is doing it. But my PlayStation's been collecting as much dust as my Xbox was. And on Xbox at least I had an ecosystem of just games that I had bought from the previous generation that I could play on it. Point being that it's just what is something that you think Xbox needs to do to really entice? Because if you ask someone on the street if they want a PlayStation or Xbox, they're going to get a PlayStation any day of the week. But I don't know, like PlayStation, even them, like recently, it's just been coming to my mind, like unless Spider-Man 2 comes out, or like that's the only game I can really look forward to. Everything else is like the weird thing with Microsoft, they're in a weird position where PC gaming is, I think, more popular than any console type of gaming right now.
So, going back to you originally asked.
Sorry, that was loaded.
Yeah. So your first question, I believe, was. Is it reasonable for me to sell my Xbox because the library of games aren't speaking to me right now? Is that correct? Is that your original question?
Yeah, that's a very, very good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, of course, like you're a consumer, you're allowed to say that you don't prefer games that come out on one console, and maybe that's a failing of the marketing around the games. Maybe they didn't speak clearly to you as a consumer, as an individual. Of course, that's totally reasonable. Do you still feel like there's just nothing that's really speaking to you on the Xbox platform even today, knowing like with the Bethesda merger and everything? Because I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, see, so Bethesda is a weird beast.
Sorry, just real quick, like I don't care if he doesn't buy an Xbox. Like who gives a shit? I don't have stock in Microsoft or anything. Like I have no horse in the race, I think is the saying, right? So yeah, I'm just curious to learn more about where you're coming from.
Yeah, so for me personally, Bethesda, speaking of Bethesda, they're like a huge company, but like I love Doom Eternal. I played the shit out of that before I sold my Xbox. I was playing, it came on Game Pass and I played it, loved it. But that was definitely arcadey. I think my brother is like a big PlayStation guy. We used to have like that's why I'm firmly on the Xbox camp to this day, even though I bought the PlayStation. It's because I think Xbox, like Bethesda, has so many good games, but even in Game Pass, like they're just very arcadey. They're not very they don't make you like. They're definitely games you play, but you don't like grasp onto.
I have to heartily disagree with you there. I think for you, you can say like that you don't grasp onto those games, but to imply that like people don't grasp onto Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Elder Scrolls Online, Skyrim, like no way, dude. But Doom, Doom Eternal.
Oh, those games,
Yeah.
yeah, Skyrim. I appreciate
Mhm.
them, but like Skyrim came out in 2012. You know, you can play it on your Wii. You can
Yep.
still play it on your. You can play it on so many different platforms. It's everywhere.
They're not exclusives.
Outer Worlds
is the point you're
Outer
making.
World. Yeah, I mean now. I mean technically they're not exclusives, but there hasn't been a new version of that game, right? Like
Mhm.
I loved Forza Horizon 4. That's like the best racing game to come out last generation. You know.
Yeah.
But Bethesda is like a weird animal because they haven't really produced a game in a very long time that I think truly has resonated on like a mass scale. And for me personally, outside of Doom Eternal, haven't really been a big I haven't been a big Fallout guy personally, and even Elder Scrolls I dabbled with it, but
Yeah.
I know I can't spend that much time with an RPG like that, you know. I find like Witcher 3. I loved Witcher 3. I played the shit out of it, but I even beat Cyberpunk on my Series X, which, by the way, I had no issues playing that. I didn't even have a single glitch playing it on my Series X, which was really surprising because people I know at 2080s could not run the game, right? So
Yeah.
I dig RPGs. Just the ones that they've made so far haven't touched me. But speaking to the future of Xbox, like Hellblade 2, that's a game I would love to like. I think is amazing. Like
Mhm.
the first one was personally like one of my favorite games of last generation. You know, Fable could be amazing. You know, I played the first Fable on the Xbox like when it came on Game Pass. I was playing through it. So Xbox has a lot of stuff, but PlayStation doesn't even have that much stuff that I'm looking forward to either, though, which is weird, right? Like, I mean,
So
I like Ratchet and Clank sort of, but it's not like
Mhm.
something I'd live or die by.
So
Um,
I hear you expressing yourself and saying like what I'm hearing is that you're not seeing a lot of games that align to your interest on the Xbox Series X. So you don't have the console anymore. Do you have a PS5?
I have the PS5 now,
And
so
what games on the PlayStation 5 are you just like, yeah, this is my jam?
that I haven't already played.
Like the
Well,
stuff that's PS5 specific.
I like Ghost of Tsushima.
That's PS4
Um,
though. Did you start that one on
yeah,
like with the update?
yeah, I played it with the update.
60 is nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
60 is nice. It's very nice, very
Mhm.
nice. But what else has come out? I didn't like. I'm not a Demon Souls guy. I don't like those RPGs, create and
Returnal,
grind. Resident Evil 8 Village is great, but that's multi-platform,
cross-platform.
so
Yeah.
not
Hmm.
something I can really claim PlayStation towards. What did I play on it that's what I'm saying. There was all the
Man,
first party exclusives they
when I
launched with
press
are
you on it, like what games do you love? You love Ghosts. What games do you
I
love? So like you've talked a lot about like you don't seem to love.
Uncharted.
Okay, great.
Uncharted.
Yeah.
Uncharted was great. God of War, obviously. I even
Hell
love
yeah.
God of War 3. I mean,
Love God of
obviously,
War.
God of War has. You don't need to talk about that more than it's already talked about, but it's a great game. Um, and you know, I was a big Killzone guy, but that's not. You know, that's obviously not something PlayStation 5 exclusive.
Real
So
quick
not a
aside
lot.
though,
Like
yeah.
Astro's Playroom might have been the best thing to come out for the PlayStation so far. If
It
I'm being
was
quite frank.
I really liked it. My wife loved it too, actually.
And it was fun, breezy, quick, and it was that arcadey type of style that didn't necessarily bother me. Not to say that I'm trying to hit on Xbox because I will buy an Xbox in the future again, right? I made a profit when I sold it. That's the one thing. I made like
Okay.
$200 selling it.
That's
So
also an incentive, right?
yeah. I mean, yeah. If it's gonna cost me the same to buy it in 6 months, then why not, right? So, anyways, uh, and I bought the series. I mean, I bought the digital PS5, so I saved I ended up saving like $300 in the process, which was nice.
Okay.
So that's the caveat associated with me selling it. Otherwise, I would have kept both.
I get it.
But
Well, real
yeah,
quick, just because bunch of people queued up after you called in.
yeah.
What would you like to ask? Like, what's your question?
Um,
Yeah.
I don't think there's much more to say than I think I've already said, but to elaborate on something that you were talking with the other guy about,
Yeah,
you were
sure.
saying that PlayStation doesn't have the network or the capability to support now, or PlayStation Plus like Game Pass.
No, I don't believe that's quite what I said.
Oh, okay, sorry. I mean,
Yeah.
Alluding to it, but I think it's really think
I personally don't think PlayStation Now is as good as Game Pass. They have fewer subscribers. Do they not have the network to do that? I would not make that claim. I'm not an engineer. So like
Sure.
I wouldn't be able to say that definitively, right? I think
Yeah,
I think it's interesting that all their PS3 games are streamed. I don't understand why that they can't be downloaded and run via emulation or something. You know, like they have tremendously talented people on their team. Why aren't they able to address that issue, right? But what was your question? I just wanted to clarify that I didn't say that because that happened in chat with that video, and I'm like, I didn't say that. I definitely didn't say that.
Sorry.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
You now that's clear.
Mhm.
I'll make my point though.
Okay.
So with Game Pass Ultimate, you can take games on the go, right? You can just, if you have a mobile device, you can just put it on your Android
Put it on
phone,
your
and just
iPhone.
plop and run on your iPhone anywhere. I think the main issue with that is internet connections worldwide.
Mhm.
So PlayStation Now's at an immediate disadvantage for not letting you download it. But I think
PlayStation Now does allow you to stream like on PC and devices though. So like if you can have a tablet or something, you could probably stream PlayStation Now. I don't know what the system requirements are. I didn't try out that capability, but it was an option. Yeah.
which is great. I think the future with 5G coming into play, better bandwidth across the country, it'll get better.
Yeah.
But one thing I subscribed to, something I was using for last summer just to try out was Stadia with Google. And I played through all of Red Dead 2 through Stadia just to test it out.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was shocked. Obviously, it had issues, but it got better. And one thing Sony's been doing a lot, if Microsoft's this huge $1 trillion behemoth, what's the next $1 trillion behemoth they can partner with? And I think that could be potentially Google, to give them the back end infrastructure to sort of, help them like map out sort of the networking side of the engineering side per se, in a partnership, sort of like what they're doing with Disney and Spider-Man.
You know who they should partner with? I have
Who?
your answer. Microsoft.
Yeah, Microsoft.
They've answered this question already. Driven by Azure. Azure is their answer to cloud stuff, it seems, and they've sort of hinted towards it. So they're talking about how you're able to build games with that, and it seems like there is going to be a back end infrastructure based on it. But this is getting into territory where I would definitely have to do more research. Azure might be the development platform. I'm not sure what the streaming platform is, but I would almost argue that Game Pass and the streaming services have been quite strong, even compared to Stadia. Because the unfortunate thing about Stadia is it seems like it's going down the toilet. But the unfortunate thing is that by the time Cyberpunk came out, it did seem like they had their networking pretty dang solid for at least games like Cyberpunk, games like Red Dead, right? And to hear that you play through the whole game, I'm impressed. But secondarily, yeah, so Azure's the cloud that's hosting everything. But yeah, Microsoft, I think, is already working on this and has been for some time.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard rumors about the Super Nintendo Switch coming out, and Nintendo being very buddy with Microsoft. But I think Sony, from a strategic and competitive standpoint, might just want to, because AWS is huge too. Like, I know Amazon just started their whole gaming service as well. And Google services are huge behind the scenes, from what my knowledge is. So
are you a big fan of the streaming options? Just in general, it seems like you really know your stuff.
No, I'm just a well-informed person. I've used Stadia because I use Stadia. I'm a little bit more like, ingratiated in the whole streaming gaming thing from what I've played. But I don't love it. Obviously, I'm gonna have a console, but I just like the idea that I can take a really low-end laptop in the middle of Timbuktu, and I can play any game without any hardware constraints.
Yeah,
which is a very like, forward think. I think that's where gaming, like if I have a Stadia on my Android TV, I can just run it with a controller. All they have to do is allow you to sync it.
So you sold your Xbox. When Game Pass is on your Samsung television, is your mind going to explode?
Not necessarily, no.
You just Bluetooth your controller and you can play games? You're talking.
I
Come
mean,
on,
I'll
come on. Like
I'm
you're
gonna
talking
I'm gonna
about.
love it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna
Okay,
love it,
okay,
but
yeah.
it's just my internet connection, right? Like it depends on where I'm at,
Mhm.
right?
Well, you
So
see,
like
Stadia
I could,
seems to work, right?
yeah. So right now where I live, I have 300 megabytes down, and Stadia works great
In Canada,
in Canada. Yeah,
that's
I
a
don't have
good
a gig. I don't.
that's good connection. I know Canada's weird about their internet, so
Yeah, yeah. Well, Canada's really weird.
yeah,
So, yeah, with internet, they have a monopoly on like the server. There's a whole thing going on. The
yeah,
CRTC can handle it,
yeah.
but yeah. So, but like, yeah, I love that's where I think the future is, and I think if Sony's going to be competitive and they're going to do things non-conventionally, in their own way, they're going to partner up with someone else to do it. But they won't do it now because obviously internet
Hmm.
connections. Even if you go to
What?
India or China or anywhere in the world, you're
I,
going to have different levels of internet quality. So I think that's a 5-year plan, not a current plan. And
nah,
Sony's not a $1 trillion company.
I disagree with you on the fact that Xbox needs to partner with somebody because like they're Microsoft, right? I think they'll
No,
partner with
Microsoft
their.
doesn't need to partner with anybody.
Oh, you're
I'm
saying
saying Sony.
Sony. Okay,
Yeah,
that makes
Sony
more sense to
to
me.
be more
Yeah,
competitive. To be
yeah.
more competitive.
Because
Microsoft
Sony
has
is
Azure.
television and movies, right? And physical products. They're not
Yeah,
Microsoft.
and a
They're not
car,
software.
a Sony car.
I'm
Yeah,
very
Microsoft
excited about the Sony.
Sony car. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna be amazing.
mhm,
We'll find out.
yeah.
But yeah, I think Microsoft has a really good ever since Steve
Thank you,
Ballmer
Ocarina.
left.
I'm making sure to call them out now.
Sure,
Thank you, dude.
a partnership in Nintendo Direct conference. I
Yeah,
mean, I'd love to see that. Speaking to
absolutely.
Ocarina.
Yeah, so
Um,
I've actually talked about that in video. The question was, do you think Xbox will announce a partnership with Nintendo during their conference? I think that's what they've been working on, yes. But I don't know if they will announce it. If all the redacted stuff from the Epic Games document, I think that could potentially be a thing, and it would be pretty big. Sony took bids from Amazon, Google, Azure for their server backend. They signed up with Microsoft. Oh, well, there you go. That's what they chose to use.
I mean,
And
Microsoft.
maybe that's why they can do 1080p now.
Microsoft probably has the best security for cloud computing and like for all their files, like security wise that they
Mhm.
put into the cloud. You'd pick Azure out of all three, from my knowledge.
Yeah, I don't.
But yeah, like
So
you never
I
know.
wish I could contribute to like what you're talking about more, but I'll be honest with you. I haven't done enough research about streaming services. Like I played on the Stadia and I can react as like I played it. It was a terrible experience for me when Stadia launched. It was really, really rough. I've had a pretty good experience with the NVIDIA stuff, just messing with it. But and then I've had a really good time with xCloud on my iPhone. Like it seems to be working totally fine when I'm not streaming and doing a million other things. And I haven't tried out Sony yet. But yeah, I can't really answer a question about this beyond what I've told you because I don't know enough. Like I'm really dumb when it comes to this stuff.
I mean, I'm not an expert either, but
Mhm.
it's just more of like me thinking, envisioning what might be happening behind the scenes. And you never know what happens behind the scenes, obviously, right?
No, it's
You
fun
have
to
a
talk about
partnership
though.
one day, but it's fun to talk about, and
Yeah,
it creates the conversation. Maybe somebody from both camps is listening, and they're taking like a note or two. You never know.
for sure.
So, yeah, like I think that's those are interesting ways, and I think both have I think on Microsoft side though they've really done really good like image control since Steve Ballmer left,
Mhm.
and they've been trying to like really rehabilitate the Microsoft and Xbox brand, and they've been doing such strong work, and I love all the studios they own now. I can't wait for the Indiana Jones game. Starfield could potentially be like the next Mass Effect. And
We'll see,
whatever
yeah.
they're working on behind the scenes, like even Perfect Dark. Like I'm not a big Perfect Dark person, but I'm gonna play it when it comes out, and I'm gonna
What?
give it a chance. And I love Phil Spencer, everything he's doing with
We
Microsoft.
all love Phil Spencer, of course. I'm going to ask you one
He's
more
like,
direct question, but I want to get to shedding too. So, my direct question is: you sold your Xbox. You just listed a whole bunch of stuff that you're excited for. Are you going to pick another one up, and when?
I'm gonna pick one up. I'm gonna pick one up by the time I think Halo Infinite comes out for
Okay,
sure.
all right.
It might not be the X, it might be the S, but I'll be picking up another series console just to diversify my playing where I'm playing.
Your
You know?
palette.
And yeah, and I'm definitely gonna play every. Hey, Indiana Jones. I'm a huge Last Crusade guy. I'm a huge Harrison Ford fan, and I hope they do a really great job with that game. What Playground Games is doing it.
Yeah.
So, and I'd love to see the James Bond game become like the Spider-Man for Xbox. You know, hopefully maybe they cut a deal to do that.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
I mean,
for sure.
Amazon owns MGM now, so it might be on their streaming service. You'll never know.
Maybe.
So
I
you'll
have
never
to.
know.
I got to bring in shedding though. So I'm going to say thank you so much for calling in. I'm glad you didn't troll me.
And I'm glad to
Yeah.
have this conversation and meet you face to face. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too. I'll see you for the next one. Okay.
See you later. Take
Bye
it
for
easy.
now. Boop. All right, we're gonna get shedding in here. Friend name Lee. Nah, we're not gonna hang up on people. Let him say his piece, and then we'll hang out with shedding. He was trying to bring up some stuff that I can't really speak to. So I was just like, well, I can't really talk about streaming services because I haven't done enough research. Like I'm very clueless. Let's bring in shedding and see what he would like to discuss. By the way, it is pretty late here. It's like 11 o'clock. Let's go to like 11:30 tonight, and we got 352 concurrents right now. So I'm just going to ask this to chat really quick. Do you like this format? This is something I used to do when I would talk about Destiny stuff. It's really easy to produce. You just kind of drop it. Like, it's not hard. Anyway, let me know what you think. Boom. Hello, shedding.
Oh, I finally figured it out. Let me get rid of you.
Just mute YouTube and you'll be fine. All right, so I got a bunch of people waiting. So I think what I'm going to do is let's do 2 questions. But first of all, it is wonderful to talk to you tonight. I hope you're having a wonderful evening, and thank you for calling in.
Yeah, absolutely. It's 1 a.m. my time. No, I've been listening, and honestly, I can comment on nearly everything, but I'll just jump straight to my question.
Yes.
So I am a huge Valve fanboy, and I can't help but just jump straight into it. What do you think about this supposed handheld?
You caught me off guard. Was there a news story I missed today?
Oh, no way. So Valve is basically working on, are you familiar with like the Aya Neo and the One X Player, the handheld gaming consoles?
That is not the Valve handheld I expected. A bunch of
Yeah,
shower heads came up. You Google Valve. Wow. All right.
No,
Yeah.
it's
In the market for
yeah,
a
it's
new
the
shower head. All right. All
yeah.
right. Ars Technica says exclusive. Valve is making a Switch-like portable gaming PC. We can confirm some, but not all of what is in store. This is from 5/25, so a few days ago. It's called StreamPal. Multiple sources familiar with the matter have confirmed that the hardware has been in development for some time, and this week Valve itself pointed to the device by slipping new hardware-related code into the latest version of Steam, the company's popular PC gaming storefront and ecosystem. Okay, what's your question about it? Cool.
Well, since this is your first run-in with it, I guess I can't ask you what your thoughts are, but basically, it got brought up a few times, the whole streaming thing. And I actually was in the room with him in the waiting room, and we talked about it, and he touched on what I was going to say.
Wait, you were
A
with who?
lot of us, with
Oh, yeah. The previous caller.
Doobie, I've something reefer.
Reefer. Yeah.
Well, we talked about kind of the usefulness of streaming and everything. And don't get me wrong, like I have access to internet most of the time here in Central America, but not always. And that's my take is I don't think that the advancement of small handheld devices and their computing power is something that we should ignore because going forward, I think that the handheld market is going to make a trend. I've followed this. I had the original GPD-1, which is these are very niche products, but for handheld gaming, like for people that don't know, the things that you can get now, you can play Biomutant in your hand and at full specs. Now it'll be 720p because the screen's so small, but you can play it maxed out in your hand for $700-800.
That's well, do you know anything about the technology of the device? Like, is it going to work off 5G? Is it going to work off Wi-Fi? Or, well, I assume it will work off Wi-Fi, but I assume it's a 5G device. How does it work? Like, do you need a mobile plan? What about those aspects of it? Can you tell me anything there?
To my knowledge, these last few that have come out, they don't actually use a SIM card. I've followed this for a little while. Like I said, I was an early adopter in the Indiegogo of the original GPD. They were one of the fundamental kind of instigators in all this, if you will. And they haven't really focused on having kind of a cellular connection. It's mostly been Wi-Fi, and the idea, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're all very capable of, your what is the GeForce Now, and of course, Game Pass and all that, because they can run whatever. But it tends to be internal processing power. They run off of the last few have run off of this Intel, don't get me lying, chipset, but it just kind of goes along the lines of how processing power is getting so much more advanced with these small all-in-one chips.
Well, you're catching me largely off guard because I didn't know about the device, but I can give you my reaction to it. I think that it is great for players like you that are looking for a device that does something like this, right? Like, why not? I'm more curious about what else can it do? Can you move it around quite easily and plug it into your television and use it like a traditional PC with a controller plugged in? Like, what are the additional features that really make it a sexy selling presentation, you know? Because right
Well,
now we're
I
looking at a
can
lot of tech specs.
Yeah, well, I can definitely attest to that a little bit. So in the end time before I got rid of my GPD, because I kind of decided that this mobile market, I don't think it's going anywhere. I don't mean to sound like a cheerleader, but it's just I've noticed that since that one came out, it was very niche, and since then they've gone on to make things that, Linus Tech Tips just goes crazy over, and they've just gotten more and more popular. But before I got rid of it, it became kind of a I don't know what you call it, a media center, I guess. And my wife used it for, she just trades crypto, and she used it for like her main PC. I had it plugged
Oh,
in here. I'm in her office right now because she's asleep.
tell her
But
tell her I'm sorry about the last 2 weeks.
yeah, we haven't done a lot of trading lately. It's mostly
Yeah.
just crying. But but yeah, that's what it is, because they're Windows PCs typically. Now they're
Mhm.
saying that this one could end up being Linux based, because SteamOS is basically just their own distro of Linux. But that's my only hang up with the idea, because I've got an Index. I'm a huge Valve fanboy. Half-Life was one of my first games I fell in love with, and I that's really my only hang up with the device, is whether or not they'll go kind of the traditional route of all the other ones. The Ayaneo is definitely the one I would suggest you check out. It's pretty marvelous. And then the One X Player is just like, that's the badass version. That's the one that'll play whatever you want in the palm of your hand.
Yeah. Well, I think to answer your question about the Stream Pal, like I said, it seems interesting. I don't know that I would be super stoked for it, but I don't think that matters whether or not I'm into it, because if you're into it and you think it's freaking cool tech, then that's great.
Well, I guess like the only reason I brought it up on this is because of like 4 days ago when Microsoft did their little advertisement for their not so popular folding phone, where they kind of made it the portable Xbox. It's
Oh,
you,
that's
you
right.
search
I saw that. Yeah.
just yeah, just search portable Xbox and you'll get a
No, I
million
saw it.
hits.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, there's definitely, well, I mean, but before that though, it's I'm not the only person that likes the portable processing power, and I don't mean to say that you're saying that I am, but
No.
it's I think
There's totally a huge market for it. Absolutely. I'm
yeah,
just saying, like, I'm not one of those people, right? I
right.
For portable, for me, like, I don't leave the house that often, where if I leave the house, I'm going to the beach, or because I'm in San Francisco, or I'm going to get groceries or whatever. I don't do long commutes, or if I do long commutes, I'm usually driving. So right now, there's not a lot of use cases for me for a portable thing. Like, if I'm using a PC, I'm working, right? Or I have a gaming PC. So for me, there's just not use cases for it. Even my Switch, like, yeah, sorry, Nintendo fans, but my Switch has been docked for like a year and a half. So yeah,
Yeah, I picked mine up just because I got in on the Walmart secret clearance where the games were 3 cents. I've been playing Darksiders Genesis even though I already beat it on Xbox because I got it for
nice.
3 cents. So,
Nice. I think as
but
Daniel, my son, gets older, this might be something I'm more into, where I can be playing a game and mom can be watching her show. But like, as a family,
Exactly.
like that's another thing where I could definitely see a use case. But as a family, we do a lot of stuff together actually. Like most of the day, like on my lunch break, I'm singing songs with Daniel and things like that. Or you know, we're pretty engaged as a family unit. So it's cool, but it means not a lot of game time. I do have to put this damn thing down though. Hey everybody, if you have a family, put your phone down every once in a while. I'm very
Exactly.
guilty of that. Eric the Red says, "Why is
Yeah.
Microsoft manufacturing these expensive Surface Duos that nobody will buy and not a handheld gaming device they know will sell millions?" That's sort of an interesting question. Do you want to talk about that, Shedding?
Well, I mean, that's kind of okay. So I
So
know that you don't have much more time, and
I
it's
want to
definitely late here.
I want to get Fraud Howard in here next. I'm sure that's not a troll.
Exactly. Yeah, you
Yeah.
better make way for him. Well,
Yeah.
basically, like I'll just go ahead and finish up what I was going to say because it's amazing how it all ties it all together. So basically, the way I see it now is, we have this technological advancement. I have an iPad in front of me. It's like I said, I'm in her little crypto. Well, it's a crying room right now, but I have all this tech in front of me, and it has its own processing power on tiny little SoC chips. And I think that before we get to full streaming and full network capability and, low fidelity gaming through Wi-Fi, whatever, I think there's still a real market for handheld gaming devices and having their own power. And I don't think that we've passed that yet. Just technologically speaking, I think there's still a real gap to be, cleared.
Eric the Red seems to agree with you. Guys, it's the phone. And I think Xbox knows that. And I think that's why they want Game Pass on iOS and Android devices. The phone is such a huge established market that they want to get in on. And yes, you can make the next Vita for Sony. You can make an Xbox portable device, right? Valve can get in the market with this thing. But at the end of the day, these are powerful as hell. And
Oh,
a
they
lot
are.
of
I've
really
got
good games are on it. And that's their
yeah.
competition. Like that's what you're up against now, right?
No, exactly right, and I don't disagree with you at all. I mean, I've got I forget what it's called. It's a
Dead Planet,
Xiaomi
thank you.
Black
I'll
Shark
read your question
3.
in a
That's
second.
this stupid thing I'm using right now, and there's a gap still yet with these phones because like I said, when you're distant from like a really good connection, you're away from your games,
But
and
but like once
slapping.
Destiny's playable on here, done deal. It's over.
No, you're
You
right.
know,
You're right.
yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize, but playing online games, as long as they're not resource dependent as far as your online connection, like when I used to travel, I'd play Call of Duty and I would play for 4 or 5 hours a night and I would use a couple hundred megs. Like the necessary network requirements, once you're actually doing the processing power on the phone, it's minimal.
Well, you make a good point. I don't know. We'll have like time will tell. Like if somebody has to release a mobile, excuse me, a mobile product though. But Nintendo's gotten in on mobile. Sony's saying they're getting in on mobile, and Xbox made whatever that thing was with touch controls, which not my favorite thing
Well,
in the world. Dead
I
Planet,
think
really quick. Pie in the Sky prediction. Despite the doubt, there will be a pleasant surprise in the form of either Avowed, Hellblade 2, or Perfect Dark 83. I would agree. I think we're definitely going to see some surprises. Sorry, the super chats I got to call out.
No, they're paying you to talk about it. It's cool.
Yeah.
I'm a YouTuber as well. I get it. So, but well, man, I'll let you get to the next one. I'm sure you got a line of them. I should probably get some sleep. But it's been fun hanging with you.
It was great hanging with you. And actually, I learned a lot because this is a topic I don't know about. So I really appreciate you calling in. I hope you don't feel like I'm like rushing you along or anything. That's not my intention at all.
It's almost 1:20 in the morning where I'm at. I should get some sleep. It's cool.
Get some sleep. Call back another time. Great topic. Thanks for teaching me a little bit about these devices. I need to learn more for sure.
Yeah, I really don't think they're going away. Like I said, I've followed this for years now, and they're not for everybody, but they definitely have grown. So maybe check it out. Just look at Linus. I think he just did a video like 2 or 3 days ago about the newest one.
Yeah, you know what? I actually love it when like somebody will call in, tell me a thing I don't know about, like when Odie was calling me on some of my stats because it inspires me to make like another piece of content. So I go do that research and I'm like, whoa, check all this cool stuff out that I learned and I present it to the channel. So thank you again. And I hope you have a wonderful night. Get some rest.
Yeah, man. Well, my YouTube channel, I really am about to hang up. My YouTube channel, it was absolutely nothing. It had like 30 subscribers, and then I started doing actual reviews and just telling people what I actually thought about tech, and it went
What is
from
it?
like,
What's your YouTube?
yeah, it's Shedding Shadow. It's just like this. But I started doing YouTube reviews on actual like products, like tech products,
Oh
and
my
it went
God.
from like 30
What
subscribers
is on
to
my refer?
I think
Sorry.
I think I'm up to like 315 or something, and that was just from just you know what, like I'm a likable guy, so I just started doing reviews and it like shot up. I haven't touched it in a while because I've been busy, but that's what I figured out is if you just like make yourself more personable and like you just kind of put yourself out there and tell people what you think, like they're more in tune to that. My number one comment, I get this every other video, is this guy's real, and I love that comment. But
I
anyway, I'll quit talking your ear off. It's been cool talking to you, bud.
Yeah, good talking to you too. Get some rest. And I actually agree with what you say. I think that's part of the reason why my channel has been taking off. It's because they're like, oh, Destin's just a normal person. So and he's just talking about stuff. But thank you so much for
So my
calling
name
in.
my name's Dustin, by the way, so I just
Oh,
thought that was fun.
well, good talking with you, Dustin. I'll catch you for the next one though, okay? Get some rest and
Later,
I'll see
bud.
you soon.
See ya.
Bye. All right, so I'm bringing in Fraud Howard. I have a hypothesis that he might be trolly. Let's see. So, all right. Why, hello, Fraud Howard.
Hello, Destin. I'm a big fan, big fan.
Okay.
Um,
I'm gonna
so I have a few questions.
just wait. Let me set up over here. I'm gonna make sure that I
Yeah,
got
okay.
my finger on the
Great.
hang up button, just in case. Because
Yeah,
your
no,
name is
this
Fraud
name is
Howard.
pretty cringy, but all right. So first of all,
It's coming.
I've been watching Unlocked for a while,
Oh,
and
I apologize for this. Reed
yeah,
Barnard
okay.
said Xbox Fall Guys and the Delicious Last Course DLC. Cool. I assume that's downloadable content.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Fraud, thanks for calling in. Let me start over, okay? Hi, Fraud. Thanks for calling in. I really appreciate you calling in, and I hope you're having
Oh,
a good night.
professional.
Yeah, I'm trying to just do an AMA and just let people talk about whatever. So, what would you like to discuss tonight?
Yeah, no, so I was, big longtime fan of Unlocked. So I know of your love for the Mass Effect series.
Oh yeah.
And I was just wondering, I just started playing Mass Effect, beat the trilogy recently, and Mass Effect 4 coming up. Just wondering from a longtime fan, what do you think the future Mass Effect will look like? I mean,
Oh,
we
like just
saw
graphically
Liara,
or yeah.
the story was, like the Reapers are finished. I mean,
I have a theory. I know I'm way ahead of you on this one. I think I know exactly what you're getting at, and I think I have a theory. Do you want to hear it?
yeah, go ahead.
All right. Somebody called me the Frasier of gaming. I don't know if that's a compliment or but I think what they're going to do with the next Mass Effect is I think they're going to use the destroy ending as the canon ending, and then they're going to continue telling the new story. I don't I do think you will be Shepard. Like they could just do
Okay.
a Mass Effect 2 style thing again, but I do think you will be a Shepard.
Yeah, I believe that too.
And it will be not in the Frostbite engine. But that's about all that I could really guess.
Thankfully, right? I mean,
Yeah, of course.
Frostbite just does not work for that type of game.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, we see with Andromeda, right? The animations just don't work.
Yeah, and Andromeda was a bummer because
absolutely.
I played through it again recently, and I'm like, man, the intro looks pretty good, but the story just wasn't the same. It didn't have
different writers, I believe, right?
Didn't hit the right notes. Well, I think Mac Walters was on it, and he worked on 2
really?
and 3.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know how involved he was. Like, did he come on late? Was he lead writer for the whole thing?
Yeah, it was a very rocky development. I watched the video on it.
I finished the game, and if you quiz me on what the fuck happened in that game, I wouldn't dang it, I'm trying not to swear anymore.
Oh yeah,
but,
no,
but if you quiz me on what happened in that game, so
I do not
there was
remember
an
anything.
alien, and you killed them at the end. And that's vaguely what I remember happening. I don't remember what their motivations were for killing everybody. Yeah, dude.
Also, I just gotta
Andromeda.
say that Andromeda just missed all the classic characters that we love, you know? That was one of the
Yeah.
main drawing points of the series was all the characters from 1 to 3, excuse me, that you just bonded with and they grew with you if you with their choices, right? So,
Mhm.
you know, the voice acting and the great voice acting, I mean, it just missed like the charm of the game.
Are you having a blast with Legendary Edition right now? Because one
Yeah,
of these days I'm gonna
it's
play it again.
incredible. Like the Mako doesn't control like garbage now. It feels like you're actually
shedding.
playing like a racing game or something. I don't know, but
Yeah.
anyway,
It's cool.
yeah.
It's cool playing through it again. I'm still on 1. I need to get back to it. I said I'd do the walkthrough guide, and I'm way behind. And I'm behind on the
Yeah,
performance
yeah.
review, and I'm behind on
I
the
mean,
interview. Like I have
2
so
is
much like
definitely the best one. I think 2 is the best one by far.
2 is the best mix. I always say
Absolutely.
one is the best
Yeah.
story, 2 is the best mix, 3 is the best gameplay. Yeah.
No, I just love Thane. Thane is my favorite character.
Absolutely.
Thane. Yeah, no, he just has an amazing story. Just
He's great. And
wonderful.
his payoff in 3 is definitely worth it. Fraud, I'm gonna bring in
100%. 100%.
Fraud, I'm gonna bring in Ujo, and I see numbers dwindling, so let's bring in Ujo, take one more, and then I'll answer any questions chat has. I promise you.
Okay. Yeah, sounds
right
good.
after that.
All right. Thank
Fraud,
you.
hey, thanks for calling in. I'm sorry to rush. I'm getting tired, so I
Yeah,
want to
no,
go to
it's
bed soon.
11:26 for me right now. It's
Yeah, we're in
pretty
the same
late,
time
so.
zone, so yeah, honestly,
California,
anything
yeah.
after 8 is late for me these days.
Oh,
So,
absolutely. Yeah, with the sun and everything. Yeah.
yeah, with a little kid. All right. Well, I'll see you for the next one, okay? Thanks for calling in, and I love Mass
All
Effect.
right.
I'm
Yeah,
glad you're having a
thanks
good time.
for yeah. Mass Effect, yeah. It's good.
Heck yeah. Talk to you again soon. All right. Hello? Ujo, are you there?
Hey, what's
Hello.
up?
Hello, you're the last caller of this
Is
evening.
wow, yeah. I don't know how to feel about this.
Well, no
But
worries
anyway,
at all. Thank you for calling in. And, we were
well,
just talking about AMA, and somebody's talking about
yeah.
fraud. Oh, oh, they're talking about the guy who called in. Yeah, he was really nice. He's just a Mass Effect fan. But yeah,
Yeah.
I put up the video today. I got a lot of shit for it in the comment. Oh, dang it. See, when I get relaxed, I start swearing, and I'll stop it. I'm sorry, chat. But anyway, so that was the original plan of the video, but everybody just wants to call in and be cool. So yeah, what would you like to discuss? Anything's on the table. What would you like to talk about?
First of all, congrats for the 57K. You are doing amazing. I really want to. I'm a huge fan. The second
Thank
thing,
you.
well, I also want to thank you for mentioning Brazil. I'm from Brazil actually, so
Oh, yeah?
yes, and my nickname is actually all effed up. My name is actually Jose. So
Jose?
yeah.
Okay.
So just but anyway, so I have two questions for you. I want to be, very direct and straight to the point.
Sure.
Number one, which Xbox franchises do you think they should bring back? Because I was looking at their future, the games that are coming out, games like Perfect Dark and Fable, which they obviously brought back, and everyone is excited. But I was thinking, what about Banjo and Kazooie, Conquer, and maybe Rise Son of Rome? I know you like Rise Son of Rome as well.
I would
Maybe
love
bring
Rise
back
Son of Rome. Yeah.
yeah, I thought it was great. So, which franchises do you think they could bring back for the Xbox in this generation?
Well, out of all the ones, oh man, chat's bringing some good ones. Viva Pinata would be awesome.
Hey,
That
shout out to the chat as well. The chat is awesome tonight.
Yeah, chat's being really, really cool. They're so active. I feel a little guilty, like I can't read all the comments, but thank you, Corey. Thank you, Corey, for the cheer there. Yeah, I'm gonna take a little bit of time after I talk to you just to take any questions from chat directly. But your question was, what should they bring back? All the titles
franchises?
all the titles that I love, they were like third party, and I would love to see Rise get another chance. For third party, I've said like the Legacy of Kain series, but I don't have a good answer. I don't think right now would be a good time for Conquer. I don't feel like it would go over well right now. Yeah, Jade Empire, a lot of people have talked about before. I think we've been asked this question on Unlock before, and I don't really know how to answer it because I have to. Let me just Google really quick. Xbox owned IPs.
I could imagine maybe they might have try to get a partnership with Square because they had a partnership with them when Rise of the Tomb Raider was a timed exclusive, right? So
Mhm.
maybe they could get a partnership to bring Legacy of Kain to the Xbox. That would be
I would love that. And like that Omen vampire title that's been rumored around, if that's Legacy of Kain, I will literally record a reaction video where I lose my shit. So keep an
can't
eye out for
wait for
that
that.
video
Can't wait.
in the future.
Yes.
Yeah. What else do we got here? So I'm just sort of looking at some of the franchises that they have rights to. Just do it.
I don't get why Rise never got a
Hydra-
sequel or anything.
Yeah, it was weird. I think it was because it's technically owned by Crytek and it was developed. I think it was Crytek, right? And they developed
Yes.
it exclusively. Hydro Thunder is Microsoft owned. That's funny. That's the boat racing game.
Yes.
Killer Instinct, like I was
Wow.
there for when that came back. Killer Instinct was a great
Killer
game.
Instinct is amazing. They could
They own
get
Pillars of
Conquer in
Eternity.
Killer Instinct. Why not?
Oh yeah, Obsidian. They own Pillars of Eternity, so because they
Wow.
own Obsidian, they own that.
Oh, someone mentioned Lost Odyssey as well.
The flying game. What's that flying game?
Oof.
The one that was on 360 that everybody loved, or the original Xbox.
Remember, but if there's a nice soul in the chat to give us a help here.
Let's see. Chat, you know the one I'm talking about. Come on. We're talking about the one everybody. Oh, Lost Odyssey. Yes, that's
Lost
my
Odyssey.
answer. 100%, Anthony. Why
Is it Crimson Skies the one
Yeah.
you were thinking?
Crimson
Yes,
Skies is
also
the one
great.
I was thinking. Yep.
Yes, never played it, but
Yeah.
I might want to check it out if everyone is talking about so.
So Crimson Skies, I think that is ripe for a remake, and then secondarily, Lost Odyssey is definitely one that just remake it, right? Like they could just remake it because so many people missed out on it. But yeah, just looking like really quick at everything on this list that I found on Google, Lost Odyssey is not even on here. That's why it's such a hard question, because I would need to look and I need a list of like every IP that they have the rights to that they could bring back. And when I look on the list, it's hard to find that list. So it's a hard question to answer. But Lost Odyssey is definitely my answer. Now that chat said it. A lot of people say Panzer Dragoon. Yeah.
Yes, Panzer Dragoon. I was gonna mention, wasn't Blue Dragoon that JRPG wasn't that also an Xbox exclusive?
Yeah, so Blue Dragoon was an exclusive. It came out around the same time as Lost Odyssey, and Lost Odyssey and Blue Dragoon were RPGs that they were trying to get the I want to say Japanese market interested in buying Xboxes. As the history knows, the Xbox never sold well in the Asian territories, unfortunately, not tremendously well anyway.
Here in the chat is screaming for some Age of Mythology. I would also really enjoy some Age of Mythology there as well.
Aren't we getting Age of Empires right now?
Yeah, Age 4, I believe.
Yeah,
it's coming soon.
Oh,
I think
Jonathan says, sold my PS4 and got the Xbox, enjoying it, man, all because of your videos. Whoa, well, that's crazy. I'm glad you like my videos, but you don't have to sell your consoles to like my videos. I'm excited for you to play a lot of good games. I'm having a good time with my Xbox, that's for sure. I didn't do my challenges today.
Oh,
gotta do my monthly challenges. Anyway,
were you able to get the 10K
on the on Microsoft rewards?
Yes,
I am at. Oh. Every time I open a browser, my heart skips a beat because who knows what's going to open up there, right? I'm at 66,049 points.
Oh, not so bad. Not so bad.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to that $100 gift card, which you can get for 91. And then I think the strategy to get to 300 to buy a console is you get to 91 a few times, and then you get the console for free, right?
I have no idea. Here in Brazil is way different. Microsoft Rewards is a little bit different. There's not a lot of stuff to get with that.
Well, can you get the money? Like, can you get the gift cards?
Yes. Yeah. We can get the so we can get free Microsoft the store points, or was it? Yeah, the credit, and also Game Pass months. So not a lot, but still,
Whoa.
it's pretty good.
Eternal Shadow just dropped $20.
Wow.
Eternal Shaddai said, sword clashing, magic chanting, music sound familiar but remixed. Lost Odyssey 2 shows on the screen. Phil comes out and says, "You spoke and we listened. Lost Odyssey 2 is exclusive, and welcome Mistwalker to the Xbox family." That would be
That would be
chills,
insane.
chills. Eternal, yeah,
Oh, and
that would be pretty hype.
yes. Can I drop another question as well?
Yep,
Just to
got
keep
time for
on with
one
the
more.
yes. Do you think people, someone mentioned, but do you think people are sleeping on Indiana Jones by Bethesda? Because I was thinking, could this be the big action adventure game that Xbox need to rival Uncharted or other classics from Sony? Because I'm a huge fan of action adventure games, and I think Xbox really needs a big third-person shooter action adventure game to rival with the ones that get a lot of love from PlayStation.
You know what's kind of funny about that? You bring that up right away. I remember my initial reaction to it. I was like, Indiana Jones, like who knows what that's going to be like as a video game, right? People literally just said one word, Destin Uncharted, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm in." like as soon as you make that comparison, because that's what Uncharted was, right? And I was super stoked. So yes, I don't think people are sleeping on it. I just think there's not enough meat to go on in that story, and when there is, then yeah.
Yeah, I just really hope it's not a first-person game. Not that I really love first-person shooters, but I think that the market on Xbox is oversaturated with first-person shooters. I really think they need more third-person games. I think that the only big one they have right now, which is exclusive, is Gears, but I think that a lot of people are not really into Gears or the style of Gears. I would really appreciate if they
Gears is
maybe
taking a break right now, so
yeah, it's a bummer, but I think they need something like, Uncharted, like Horizon, like I know The Last of Us is a very unique concept, but if they do a first person Indiana Jones, I think it could be kind of they could be shooting themselves in the foot. Even though someone mentioned Halo third person, it would be great, and Hellblade 2. I'm really looking forward to that as well.
yeah. But you didn't really
So
ask
they
me
have
a question.
yeah, sorry. Actually, I was going to ask if you think that an Indiana Jones game can rival Uncharted. That was
Yes.
what I
Oh,
was gonna.
yeah, because like it has more brand recognition, right?
Yes.
So pretty
Mhm.
easily, it's a smart play on their part if it is good. So it has to be
Yes.
good. And yeah. Full says one more game. I'm not sure what they mean.
And can Hellblade 2 compete with God of War? Maybe.
I think they're different. They're too different. God of War is like really combat focused, about the counters, about like just how the systems work in that game. I think Hellblade 2 is more about story. It deals with a really serious topic of mental illness and yeah. So I wouldn't say, I don't think those two are apples to oranges enough that you can make that correlation.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Both
I
are
agree 100%.
fantastic games though. I'll say that.
Yes,
Like
yes, I love them both.
yeah.
Plague Tale was awesome as well.
I haven't played that one yet. Is that one good?
Oh, Plague Tale is amazing. The combat is not that great, but the story is really good, and I think the structure of it worked really well. I think it's not better than Hellblade, but I think was more enjoyable to play in a way because I think Hellblade needs a little bit more improvement to its gameplay. I don't know if you agree with that. I think the
Yeah.
second game needs like
No, I do.
the puzzles. I was really not a fan of the puzzles, and I think the combat was too. It felt like a beta almost. Like it felt like it needs more improvement. It needs to be more fluid. Maybe like
I
I know
agree.
Ghost of Tsushima is too much of a stretch when it comes to combat, but I mean more fluid like, games like that.
No, I agree with you actually. One of my hardest things is like I don't think the counters are clear enough. I felt like I was hitting my
Yeah.
timing on the counters and like they're not hitting properly. With God of War, you know you effed up when you F up in God of War. Right. In Hellblade, you're kind of like, was that me or like is there some weird latency going on here? And hopefully they tighten that part up in Hellblade 2. And I agree. I found the puzzles sort of annoying. I actually recommend that people just use a guide and play through it when they play through it so they don't get stuck and frustrated. Because when I
Yeah, I
did, I
agree.
got stuck and frustrated on like the one with all the mirrors that you have to deal with. And I'm just like, I just don't want to do this anymore. And I stopped playing. Right.
Yeah, I
And
don't
and I
hate
was missing
puzzles.
out on a
Sorry.
fantastic story. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes. No, I was gonna say I don't
Thank you,
hate
Aaron.
puzzles, but I hate when puzzles are they're blocking your enjoyment of the game. You know, they need to be very straightforward, and I think Hellblade unfortunately was a little bit too much, too many and too repetitive. But anyway, I don't want to keep other people waiting because I really appreciate you giving me the chance to speak up, and I really thank you to for the amazing content, and I also wanted to give a shout out to people in the chat as well.
Yeah,
So
I'll keep it up. Thank you for watching, and I really appreciate everybody in chat hanging out tonight and just sort of giving me the benefit of the doubt with that last video. It's nice to see that like most people are like, oh, he's just talking about things going on in the industry. That's my only goal. My goal is not to like for anybody to like. I don't want either company to fail. I want both of them to be massively successful and competing with each other so we win. And that's what I've been saying forever, right? So, and I apologize if I get this wrong. Is it Jose?
Jose, yes.
Jose. Oh, that's interesting
Yes.
because I see EUJOSE. So
Yeah,
yeah.
actually, the EU is actually like like
Mhm.
iRobot, the movie
Yeah.
iRobot with Will Smith. Yeah, it's kind of like that, but like it's Joseph. Like it would be kind of
Okay.
like it.
So Jose.
Yeah, yes, and
Got it. Got it.
and if you want to talk about gaming in Brazil, the everything that how gaming is growing in Brazil, if you want someone to talk about that, hey, you can hit me up anytime. I'm here
I
to.
might take you up on that. Yeah, for sure.
Please do, man. You want any contacts or anything like that?
Yeah, well, maybe not on stream. Well, you have
Yeah,
my
sure,
Discord.
sure.
Put it in, send it to me on Discord.
Okay.
Just put a message in general, and I'll message you after the show. Okay?
Okay. Okay. Hey, thank you so much, and thank you, everyone. Have a nice one.
No problem. I'll figure out how to message you later. Bye.
Thanks, man.
Bye for now. All right. So I'm gonna do something that's probably dumb. I'm gonna take the chat window and I'm just gonna put it over there. And I don't know what's gonna happen. It could be bad because you're gonna see all the redacted stuff. So I apologize for that in advance. And if this works, great. If people are jerks, then I'm never gonna do it again. So really, the future is up to you. First of all, I got to say thank you to Aaron Banks. Not brought up a lot, but thoughts on the Microsoft Rewards app. Dude, I made a whole video about it. When I found out about it and how cool it was, I literally made a whole video about it and talked about it. He says he gets a free $10 to $15 a month, just surveys or Bing searches or easy achievements. So if you're curious what he's talking about, I don't think any of my personal info is on here. Let me just look. Yeah, it's really not. So this is the Microsoft Rewards stuff that he's talking about. And like, you get like, these are referrals. This is a gift card that I've been working towards for like a month or whenever I made that video. You have these things you can do. You like take a quiz. You just click on stuff really within the Edge app. And this is not an ad. I'm just cheap as F. So yeah. And then like you do searches for stuff every day. And you see down here, this is like this represents $2.50 for doing 250 searches. Each of these is worth 5 points. So you do your, oh, I'm searching for famous dogs. This is my methodology to get this one done quick. And I know there's a few other ways to do it. And, he dropped a super chat. So I'm talking about my obsession with Microsoft Words. You can do this during a boring meeting. Do this when you have some downtime. And yeah, this is all I do. I Google actors. I Google famous dogs. And then famous cats if I need a few more. 185. You just keep going. Just keep opening your tabs. Point is, yes, I'm obsessed with Microsoft Rewards. Yes, it's real. I'm a big dork. I can absolutely afford Game Pass, but dude, they're giving you free money. Why not? The reason I think I'm obsessed with it is because I want to make a video that says I got an Xbox for free or something, So Aaron, I hear you loud and clear, buddy. All right. So again, this is just us chat. So it's just you and me. I'm going to scroll down, and if somebody ruins it for us, then yeah. Okay. Celestial Gardener says, have you thought about your channel being officially Xbox focused? That's actually a really, really interesting question because it does seem like most of the people who watch the video love it when I make Xbox content, right? And it has kind of made me wonder, like, I make a PlayStation video and it gets 7,000 views. I make an Xbox video and traditionally it does like 20K. So it's clear that like people want to hear me talk about that. But I don't know that I want to make it officially Xbox focused because then you're typecast. It's like I can only talk about Xbox. I can never talk about Sony. There was that Horizon trailer or gameplay demo that just came out. So like I wouldn't really be able to talk about that. It wouldn't make sense to talk about that. So I understand why that would be desired from the users who have been watching. But I have no desires to do that right now because it precludes me from talking about other stuff. And largely all my only goal with making the videos on the channel was to have an outlet like this to talk with people. Because Daniel's here. I don't have a lot of time to stream anymore. I have no idea how I've managed to make this video. Like he's being pretty good tonight. He cried once while we were recording. And like, you know, you feel guilty as a dad. You don't want to leave your son out there. So my outlet has been this channel. I get to talk about the news story of the day and it's really conversational. I don't do, to my detriment, I don't do a ton of research for those videos. I take like 5 bullet point videos and then it's the goal is to just be a vlog and have a conversation with you. Celestial Gardener, you actually bring up a question that's not sensitive, but it's definitely something that's been on my mind and something that I think about that I feel like, because like people in that last video that I made were giving me a lot of crap like, oh, he's going all Sony pony now and everything. I'm like, I'm that wasn't my goal. Like nothing's changed. I'm still excited about Xbox. I still can't wait to see what their E3 is. I still think they're crushing it. Like it was just such a weird reaction. And like, it's just like I had no benefit of the doubt or anything. And I was like, how did I get it so wrong that that was the reaction? Like, what did I convey in that video that made viewers say F you basically, or be upset? I struck a nerve or I said something incorrectly. And that's why I'm doing this, because I wanted to talk about that, right? Anyway, yeah. So loaded question, loaded answer. Full says, you a chill dude, Destin. Appreciate it. Thanks, Full. Let's see here. Corey Heiser. Fortnite. Oh, no! Corey Heiser. What new Xbox first party title do you think is the most important? One that can rival Sony. Big fan. Love you that you're real and stick to topics. Corey says, new Xbox first party title do you think is the most important? I think Halo is the most important. Not only because I think it's going to do well. It has the free-to-play model implemented into it. But I think it's going to be a story if it doesn't do well. If it doesn't do well, then that's really bad because that's a perception that Xbox isn't doing well, right? So when you say most important, I think of that question in an interesting way. I think for marketing reasons, for word of mouth reasons, and for perception reasons, Halo was their most important release probably in the last 10 years. And that may be hyperbolic, but that's sort of my 2 cents on it. Wolf of Darkness says, is it a good idea if Nintendo release a new home console more powerful than PS5 and Xbox Series? No, they won't do that, dude. They're going to make the new Switch. They're not going to do... They play a different game, and they're kicking the crap out of Xbox, so they don't need to play this who has the most powerful console game, and they've been out of that since the Wii. I get where you're coming from, though. Like, could this happen? But no, I would bet money that they don't do that. Jose just says hello. Hello, Jose. Catalin Simonuik says, here's 5 Ron. Thank you. Catalin? Or Catalin? Yeah, Catalin, thank you. Says don't bring up chat. Well, it's going well for so far. I guess you guys are okay. What is your opinion on Final Fantasy Origins if you are aware of it yet? I think he's talking about the rumored Final Fantasy game that would be PlayStation exclusive. I think I said I would lose my... Oh no, it's the one that would be Demon Souls. Yeah, so I would lose my mind if that happened. I said that for an Xbox game. So if Legacy Kain was Xbox exclusive, I would lose my mind. And if we got a Final Fantasy Dark Souls game where people could invade you and then fight you one-on-one, I would also lose my mind. So potentially I could lose my mind to E3 is what I'm saying. Like clockwork, Destin has a video up as I stroll to Starbucks. Yeah, next one's coming out at 7. And yeah. Full one, we talk about HDMI 2.1. Monitors with it are slim to none. Do you have any insights? HDMI 2.1 is early technology, I want to say, and people are playing catch up. You got to look. There's some TVs out there. There's TVs and stuff that you can get. So yeah. The Doobie, the D-Boy says, I think most of us enjoy Destiny's content. Keep doing what you're doing. Oh, thank you. J King says, I left abruptly because my phone decided to die. No worries at all. Thank you for having me on the stream. And no chat, I'm not high. It's just very late and my peoples are asleep. Sure. Sure, J King. It's fine. No, I'm just kidding. You know, in high school, I've always had these bags under my eyes, right? Because I stay up late. And little bit of a personal thing. I don't smoke weed or do any of that stuff. I don't like taking medicine even. I'm pretty weird about that. I drink alcohol, but that's about it. The long and the short of it for me. So I got that a lot. I don't mean to give you a hard time, but I'm just joking around about it. So yeah, I don't know why I shared that with everybody, but that's me. Sebastian, it's really cool to see that there are more Brazilians here. I love your videos. Send a hello to the Brazilians. Hello, Brazil. What's going on? Thunderbird says, Destin has a quantum computer to run all those tabs. It does have a 3090 in it. So what's your opinion on Final Fantasy Origins? I already answered that one. We listen to you on Xbox because you're passionate about it, loving the channel. I am passionate about it. And when I see a Sony report that outlined, Irishman, I want to go back to that Sony report because somebody said there's a footnote that I absolutely missed, and I feel like it's important. Cautionary statement. Statements made in this presentation with respect to Sony's current plans, estimates, strategies, and beliefs, and other statements that are not historical facts are forward-looking statements about the future performance of Sony. Okay, they include statements such as believe, expect. Those statements using words such as believe, expect, plan, strategy, prospects, forecast, estimate, blah, 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 blah. Similar meaning with a discussion, future operation. Okay, so basically they're saying anything about the future is hopeful. From time to time, oral or written forward-looking statements may also be included in other materials released to the public. These statements are based on management's assumptions, judgments, and beliefs in light of information currently available to it. They have to write that because they trade on the stock market. They have to very clearly say that they're bullshitting a little bit. They're hyping up. Sorry, I don't know how to put it in layman's terms. So they're clarifying anything forward-looking is a trajectory and a hope, not a fact. Because you see that all the time. Here's our projections for Q2. Oh, we missed them by 50%. And then your shareholders are pissed. This is a legal thing. I think that's put it in here. Yeah, and then look at this next line. Sony cautions investors that a number of important risks and uncertainties could cause actual results to differ. Yeah, like a chip shortage for everybody. Wow. Okay, so lots of stuff in the fine print, but basically they're just saying our trajectory for the future could not be quite as peachy keen as we've made out. And they have to be responsible about that. Ducato says, I hope new tech gets dated and acquisitions at least have a small presence this year at E3 Destin. Keep doing things as you are. I enjoy everything gaming, not just Xbox. You got it. Dano says, yeah, you're a gamer. Yeah, that's sort of what I was alluding to before, I just want to talk about games. So yeah. Reality says, do you think there will ever be a time where digital purchases could be sold back for store credit as a way to drive game purchases and leave a chance for players to one day buy it again? So let me think. No, Reality. That's renting. I think you just described renting. Sort of what Game Pass is doing. So maybe a renting service, yeah. Mag says, hello, Destin, Xbox Series X owner, hell yeah, and Borderline fanboy here, mainly a Phil Spencer. Love your content. I'm a little bit of a fan too. Destin, do you think Microsoft will drop Ghostwire Tokyo? No. Oh, drop them on Game Pass for the time when the exclusivity ends? Hell yeah, they're gonna. That would be my guess. Oh, and we jumped. You see why it's hard to keep up with chat, everybody? All right, so we're going to go from the bottom. We're going to go here. I think you have another caller on Discord. Zonknoid came in after I said I wasn't taking any more calls. So Zonknoid, if you're in chat, let me know. And yeah. Zonk, sorry, dude. I'm not going to take another call tonight. I'm tired. But I will be back. I think Paris said it best. Halo needs to grab the attentions of our kids. The new generation, my son is busy playing Fortnite and Warzone, and now he's going to be able to play Halo. He doesn't have any interest in its current state. Yep. Are you doing a live E3 reaction? I will on IGN because I'm on there. Zonk, I'm going to hit you for the next one, dude. I'm really sorry, dude. I hope you weren't waiting that whole time. Dang it. I feel bad. Jose, did you read your Normandies? No. Shit. Can you carry me? Jose, if you can carry me, let me know because I really want that. I'm really hungry. Please tell me what to eat. Pizza every time. Random YouTube technical question. How does monetization work with the ad-free premium users? Do you know who is premium and who isn't? I don't know. I think how it works is if you're a premium user on the back end, your monetization says like, it'll tell you that a monetized viewer. Let me get you the specific answer because I have it up over here. It's referred to differently. It's referred to differently under your revenue. So playback-based CPM. There's a breakdown in your revenue, and you can see, oh, YouTube Premium service revenue. So people that have YouTube Premium service or YouTube Premium, yes, that is a different categorization, so to speak. So I hope I answered your question. Whoa. Man, I'm bummed about that. Mags, I need that hard carry. I think the video made people upset because of your tone and calling Xbox out towards the end. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just want Xbox to come out and be like, here's why we kick ass. And they did that like 2-3 weeks ago, and I made like 50 videos about it. And now I think they're saving up for E3, and it's going to happen. And they're going to basically say that soon. Are you ever going to make a top 10 favorite games video, like my personal favorites? I could do that. That's a good idea. I'm going to put that in my ideas box over here. Let's see here. Warning, there might be some Sony games on there. Huge fan from Moscow. Are you excited for a potential Switch Pro reveal, which is reported to happen before E3? Hardware's always really exciting because then I get to put on my weird gloves and unbox them usually. But no, weirdly, no. I'm not really that excited about a new Switch because I think it's just going to be a Switch that has better tech specs. So, yeah. Hey, Dustin, thanks for chatting with me. It was awesome. I hope you get to play Plague Tale. It's on Game Pass, so I might. Keep up the great content. Young Ali, congrats on the anniversary. Also, keep up the good work. We really love your content. Well, thank you, everybody. I'll wait a little bit longer to see if any more questions come in, but I think we're going to wrap it up there. You know, they say that you should bow out while you're doing well, and I see that bell curve going down. You guys are probably getting tired like I am, but I will say thank you so much for watching and just hanging out with me and talking about the video and all that stuff. So, yeah. Conrad says, wow, crazy. Had to look twice when I saw that Destin was streaming. Hope you're having great work with the channel. I am. Have you or are you going to do new Vault class? I did it. I ran Vault. It was very fun. Yeah. Microsoft said they lack family-friendly games. I don't think that's true. They said that? I'd have to think more about that personally, but yeah. Can you think of what Xbox might look at? Well, they could do just basically what Sony did with some of their family-friendly stuff. Viva Pinata, they could bring back Cameo, they could bring back anything. What's your favorite Halo game? Halo 3. Halo 3 was the game where I started making video content. So yeah. Nathan says, Night Destin, love the channel. So Zonknoid says, no worries on the call. Just wanted to discuss how most people talk about Bethesda being Xbox Studios. And personally, I think the messaging is pretty clear that Microsoft owns 2 publishers. Well, Bethesda's id it's Bethesda, it's Arcane, and one other, I think, too. There's a whole bunch. Like, that acquisition is so massive, it's pretty nuts. And then Shadai says, what game mechanics would you mix into one game? I have a high concept doc, actually, for a game that I wrote about in college that I would like to see. It involves, I'll give you the paper pitch, seeing I'm almost 40 and it's probably never going to happen. It's basically a game where the art style starts out and it's, you know, David Jaffe made a game where it was like drawn like pen and paper, right? But the concept that I would like to see is it was a game where it starts out, you're in your character that's in a coma, and originally your world starts out, it's basically like a pencil drawing. It's sort of poorly drawn and not really that vibrant or anything like that. And as you regain consciousness in the real world, your dream world becomes more pretty or more defined, right? So maybe you start with pen sketches, an art style, and then you beat a boss or something. And then that becomes, you become more conscious in the real world. So your character becomes, I don't know, outlined in pen or something like that. Or maybe you have full on grayscale at that point and you can sort of start to see the world, but the art still quite isn't there. And then you beat another boss and then like color comes into the world, or partial color does. Like maybe you can only see in the primary colors like red, green, and blue. And then, you know, you go from there. Mechanics wise, I wrote up at the time, like Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction was really popular. And the mechanics would be that you could transform and utilize different abilities. So like you could have like Hulk that like smash, a Hulk-like character that smashes stuff. You could have a flying type character that obviously could use flying abilities to change his combat style. And you could be a humanoid type character. And I wrote this back in like 2000 or something. When was I in college? 2005? I have it somewhere. But anyway, and then your final character is a humanoid character that has some sort of unique ability. I can't remember what I said for that one. But that's sort of my concept. So eventually you go through the game, and by the end of it, you're basically playing an Unreal Engine 5. But you start out in the world, because you're not fully conscious, would start out and it would be basically a white paper and pencil drawing. And as you defeat the characters, you know, regain consciousness, and then the story ends. The pitch for the story was something like, you're in a car accident with your, well, I don't like to talk about negative things happening, so I'm not gonna, I wrote that before I was married, and now I don't like to talk about that, like scary things happening. So yeah, life's scary enough as it is, right? But anyway, that was my game concept. I have like a 20-page high concept doc written up for it that I did in college. And yeah. I think I'm going to go to bed. But I had one question for you, chat. We still got about 252 people. I think we peaked around 300. Yeah, we had almost 400 at one point. That was definitely our peak. And Hector F says, hey, Destin, keep this great content. What games from Xbox first party do you think will be the one that makes us say, okay, this is next gen? I think Hellblade 2 is going to be the first one that does that. Developed in Unreal 5. It might be the first one we see that does that. I have videos lined up through Monday that'll launch at 7. I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek here. Let's see. All right. So this whole video was made because of, I stirred up the hornet's nest basically. So we have, is Sony copying Xbox? That is tomorrow's. PS5 sales versus Xbox ideas. That is Paul versus Destin. And please watch the fatality because I spent a lot of time on it. It's good. You know what, you guys? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you guys the Paul versus Destin fatality early because you're hanging out. And then why I'm excited about Xbox, it just sort of talks about why I choose to talk about Xbox. I'm going to show you guys the fatality because you hung out this long. And I love the stupid fatalities that I make, even though they're stupid. I think this is it.
Finish him! Fatality! Outstanding.
All right. Jose Lenara says, thank you for your content. Keep it up no matter what. You got it, man. You know what? I actually made a montage of all the fatalities. So let's watch all the fatalities that I made for the show.
Finish him.
This was the first one.
Fatality. Outstanding. Finish him. Fatality. Outstanding. Finish him. Fatality.
My wife didn't like that one.
Finish him.
That one I was exhausted. So
Fatality.
I spent a lot of time.
Finish him.
This is the new one.
Fatality.
When I
Outstanding.
fade away.
Finish him.
Friendship. Friendship.
Finish him.
Well, anyway. I've actually had a blast doing that show with Paul. It's been really, really fun. You guys want me to do all of them? I think I'll wait till I have 10. And then I'll do all 10, right? But yeah. That's been fun. Hey, thank you for watching. The question I had for you, chat, is did you like this live stream? Should I keep doing these? Like if I did these on Saturday, say, is it something you think you would watch? Is it something you think you would enjoy? I think I know what you're going to say, but I just want to double check and make sure I'm not crazy that you do enjoy these and you would like to see more. And yeah. Okay, yeah, everybody says yes. Very casual, very just me talking, and maybe we could just talk about the news and just keep it chill, right? All right, well, I'm going to put this up. I'm going to see how it does as a VOD. I always worry about streaming and VODs from streams because often they don't get good click-through rate, which is something YouTube looks at, and they don't, well, for me, they don't. And then they don't get good viewership. So the algorithm is like, oh, people don't like his channel anymore. Stop recommending it in YouTube recommendations. And that's obviously not what I wanted. So yeah. Should I? Hey, dude, just watch, watch the ads in the video. Like if you can't donate, just don't use an ad blocker. That's totally fine. Thank you everybody for watching. I'm going to play the outro. I really appreciate everybody hanging out. I appreciate everybody being super chill. This was really, really nice. Maybe I can do it once a week and we'll see what happens. But for tonight, I'm going to get some rest. I have to make my wife her birthday cake. It's our anniversary today, and tomorrow is her birthday. It's her birthday tomorrow. It's crazy. I love her very much, but I gotta make her a cake. She loves chocolate. I don't know why I'm telling you guys about my wife, but I'll catch you for the next one. Bye, everybody.